Can't play too much of this song or YouTube's gonna immediately take the stream down. They detect that you're playing, especially Japanese, because Japanese people are fucking retarded, because they're all fucking chinky and shit, and chinky people are fucked up in the head. Oh, you cannot play copyrighted music. That is criminal. That is criminal complaint. Like, it's one of the only countries, I think, in the entire world where, like, copyright infringement is, like, a criminal issue, as opposed to, like, I think Germany is the other one. So chicks are all fucked up in the head. They'll steal your shit, though. I put pinned a notice that's on all the streams because there's a call I had to make to try and get something fixed, and if they were going to fix it today, I would have literally gone out and gotten it in before the stream because it's really important. But I called a place that was open before noon, and the guy that picked up was Indian. And I thought, me as a honorable white man, I'm not going to patronize an Indian business. Let me try and call a smaller business that's probably white. And then, of course, I wait until 5 minutes after fucking noon, and I call, and John Smith doesn't answer his fucking phone. And it's like, well, there we go. That's the reason why we've lost everything, because lazy, cock-sucking faggots can't answer their fucking phone, and nobody in this country wants to work. It's just we have an entire country. It's like, honestly, I gotta give it to Vivek Ramaswamy. He was right. We are a country that venerates laziness and mediocrity. I can't fucking stand coming back to the United States and nobody is on time. Nobody in this entire fucking country is on time ever. You can set an appointment 3 months in advance and show up 15 minutes beforehand, and you'll be waiting half a fucking hour because nobody respects your fucking time. I just can't get the fuck over it. Literally a day doesn't go by where I don't think I've fucked up my entire life on behalf of people who don't fucking deserve it. And every day I have a backup plan. You know what I'm going to do? If I shut everything down, just change my name. I get enough death threats where I can change my name under seal. And I'm going to go into an honorable business of defrauding Medicaid and Medicare. That's what everybody does. If you want to make it in this country, fuck a degree, fuck working hard, go into tech, start up some bullshit company selling, put solutions in the name, dipshit Solutions LLC, and find some way to defraud Medicare and Medicaid. That's how you make money. If you want to live the American dream, start up a bullshit tech company called Something Solutions LLC and defraud our government's medical systems. That is the American dream. That's how you make it. And never, ever, for God's sake, don't ever do this to yourself. Never show up on time. Showing up on time, we live under the Azat system, where if you show up on time, it shows that your time is worthless. You have to make other people wait for you to show up, because that's how you prove to people that you're a very busy and important person, and your time is worth a lot of money, by disrespecting motherfuckers and not showing up when you're supposed to. It's fucking irritating. Time poverty. Oh, what am I going to talk about? Fuck it. Let's get this stream taken down. I miss the 90s. That's the moral of the story. I miss the 90s. If I win the lottery, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make like a... You know how they used to have like those cities of the future, neighborhoods of the future, where they all had like those model homes where everything was like robotic, and they'd pretend that like a giant claw machine from like the roof of your building is going to come down and like clean your entire house for you. I want to buy 1,000 acres in some godforsaken shithole like Wyoming, and I'm going to build a neighborhood of the past. And it's all going to be ranch-style homes with cul-de-sacs and wood paneling and shag wood and those weird things where it's like right at the foyer, you have like a half wall and then like wood banisters up to it. So it's not like an open concept floor. It's like a half wall with like wood banisters, that kind of thing. And it's going to be, it'll be illegal. If you walk into my 1,000 acres with a flat screen TV, I will shoot you in the fucking head and nobody will ever find your body because I have 1,000 acres to bury you in. Only CRTVs, only. And we'll all just pretend that it's December, it's 1999. Every calendar, it'll just recycle. The new year comes over, it's just 1999 again. It'll never hit 2000. 9/11 never happens. There's no Shrek. Okay. And we'll listen to this. This will be our anthem. And we'll pretend that nothing's ever, and I will finance it all by defrauding Medicaid and Medicare as what's the word for like a person from Wyoming? Word demonym for someone from Wyoming. Wyomingite. Wyoman? That's a fun one. Wyoman? The Rocky Mountain Solutions Company, LLC. And I will give you guys, the people who live on my neighborhood of the past, I will give you work in the form of actual paperwork that's printed out, and it'll be like a dot matrix printer and shit, and we'll all defraud Medicaid and Medicare together, and it'll be my cult, and we'll live on this wholly owned subsidiary of my solutions company, defrauding Medicare and Medicaid together. We'll just pretend we'll have an information bubble where we just pretend that the 90s never ended. Yeah, the Family Layering Center. Exactly right. You want to make it big, you got to defraud Medicare and Medicaid. It's like a big piñata filled with happiness and gumdrops and billions of dollars. And you just got to take a fucking stick and you got to swing at that bad boy. And you just got to swing away, George. You got to knock all the fucking candy loose from that son of a bitch just floating up there above your head. Just billions of dollars there. You just got to swing. Just got to swing away. Did I see Randbot's disgusting house? No. Is that in his thread? I will completely derail my thread because I have not seen this. To find Randbot's disgusting house. That sounds very funny. I saw Jim's house. Let's see. Okay. We are taking an emergency detour off the comment of one person in the YouTube chat who asked me if I saw Randbot's disgusting house. And we will be watching Randbot's disgusting house as an opening sequence in the stream. Because I'm extremely angry in an unironic way where I'm like seriously considering just turning the stream off and going outside. So let's see. This better be fucking good. Here's Randbot's disgusting house according to this guy.
Oh yeah, I did say I was going to do that. Anyway, like my fish? See my fish?
That tank looks small for those big fish, bud.
An alligator? His name's George. It's George.
It's like how people buy goldfish thinking that they stay tiny and you can just keep them in a bowl forever and then they die in like a week. And it's like, no, you actually have to buy like an aquarium for them. They get massive. They get really fucking big.
Anyway. Oh, hello, Tonky Tonks. Tonky Tonks!
Sir, have you ever vacuumed this room? Holy shit. Is that cat litter?
Tonky Tonks!
Have you never vacuumed this room? What is that? What the fuck is all this shit everywhere? It looks like rat shit. It doesn't look like cat poop. Is it just...
Tonks! Meow, 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 meow. Yeah, Daddy's going to touch his toes. You ready? Ready? Daddy's going to touch his toes. To prove he's not 900 fucking pounds. Doopy. Oh.
I think even like the fattest man in the world can kneel down and touch his toe. I mean, maybe not like people that can't stand, but like he's squatting. You can see him squat.
To prove he's not 900 fucking pounds.
Yeah, it doesn't count if you're squatting.
Doopy doopy doop.
Okay, we are as low as we're going to get to the floor. What is that? I mean, it looks like poop. It looks like Brandbot has like or if it's not poop, it looks like he has a serious addiction to eating like black beans straight out of a can. And because he's got like alcoholic shakes real bad, he's just walking around his house with like a spoon or fork eating black beans. And because he's got the shakes, he can't keep them on the fork. So the black beans are just scattering all over the room. And he'll never ever clean it up for whatever reason. So over time, the floor has accumulated hundreds of black beans everywhere.
Doopy doopy doop. Doopy
Ooh,
doopy doop.
sunflower seeds. Is he like just spitting sunflower seed shells? I'm like, what the? Honestly, what the fuck is this?
Now let's see if a fat pig in a Mexican crack shack can do that.
Can a fat pig in a Mexican crack shack hire a Mexican to clean his fucking floor for him? I can put my leg behind my head. I don't. It must be like a fat guy thing. I think if you're fat, you just are like abnormally flexible, and you can do weird gymnastic shit. I can't. I can put my foot all the way behind my head. I know you don't have to believe me. So I don't know. Okay, I am feeling better after seeing the state of Rambot's house. I am feeling better. So shut up. Fuck your honky tonks, bitch. If you want to know the truth about it. What is that? There are so many sights and sounds in this video that I am just like mystified. There's like a drawer that has like cat food bowls. What is that? It looks like a drawer with cat food bowls in it. But it could also be like a washing machine. Does anyone know what the fuck this is? What the fuck are I'm I don't know how to decipher this room. Like it's an auto feeder? But can a cat even like it's like on a second level. It's like at the height for a dog, not a cat. He needs this entire gigantic machine to feed his cats? He can't just feed them? You see what I mean though, right? It's like elevated. It's not on the ground level. I feel like that's too high for a cat. It's Randbot's vomit drawer. Okay. I see. They like it elevated. I don't know. It's hard to see because like the camera's so shitty, but like it is strange to me. And then there's just like shit and shavings all over the place and beans. Okay. And very hard light that women don't like. All right. Okay, this has elevated my mood. My mood has been stabilized high enough that I can proceed with the stream. Thank you, random person in the YouTube chat. All right. There was a report on the Ocean Gate submersible, which feels like it was a century ago. I want to say that happened in 2022. It was a very long time ago. And I think everybody really loved that news because it was just a bunch of rich assholes. And their death was catastrophic. It was like they went down to go see the Titanic, right? And then they got liquefied into salsa because they were at such a depth that when the submersible collapsed, like there were renderings of what would happen to people sitting inside a submersible when this happened. And basically, the change in pressure was so catastrophic and so instant that in like a split second, like they would have heard a crashing noise, and then the next second, all of the proteins in their body would be like denatured into like a slushy, and they would just be instantly dead in the most horrific, like visceral way possible. And everyone thought that was really awesome because they were like rich people and fuck them. We're fully embracing class warfare now. But that's what happened. The exact findings. I did watch this documentary. This guy is too brown, 2-bit Da Vinci. Can someone tell me what kind of brown he is, real quick? I just want to show his fucking face real quick. Here we go. Look at this fucking
ideal.
What kind of brown? He looks jeeted to me. This feels like a jeet, but he could also be black. He looks black. Is he like a half black, half jeet mutt? Indian. He's bald. If I had to guess, I've never seen a brown man like an Indian with that kind of a beard. That's like a more of an Arab or a black beard. Maybe he's like Pakistani or something. Could be like a Pakistani. I don't know. I'm not so familiar with Pakistanis. Italian. That's a good guess. I look like this and I talk like this. anyways, he covered the OceanGate report because they did a full report on it, and the gist of it is that OceanGate did effectively everything possible to ensure that it would catastrophically murder everybody inside. Um, they the reigning suspicion, I remember when I talked about this, was that the carbon fiber hull that was used was considered a bad choice of material because the act of compressing and decompressing the carbon fiber would accelerate its decay much faster than other materials. And the official report concluded that even though it was a bad choice for materials, it wasn't actually the problem because it should have lasted for much longer than it did before it experienced any issues. Because it only had 80 runs, and they estimated that it would have had hundreds of runs before they actually the material degraded as a result of going up and down. The actual issue was that they cheaped out. They didn't fix issues. They actually had acoustic equipment that could detect issues like cracking in the hull before it became a problem. They actually detected so many issues that to deal with it, their solution was to simply turn the acoustic equipment off. They had 8 different sensors. I think 5 of them were completely out of commission, and they were simply ignoring the data from the other 3. This was all documented. They literally just turned off the warning machines because they were accurately reporting that there was developing issues, and they just didn't feel like dealing with it. And I want to say that there was in the design, the original spec, because the original spec actually came out of another company, like a big one. It was like Boeing or some other really, really prominent manufacturer that I recognized. They had developed the submersible design, and the original design from whatever company came up with it that they bought the rights from. They had suggested using more like steel bolts to hold it together, and they simply reduced that number of steel bolts so that it was like it's kind of like if you put your tire on and it has like 8 nuts on it, and you just fasten like 2 of them. That's basically what they did. So they did everything possible to make sure that this thing would kill people horrifically, and they succeeded. So congratulations, mission accomplished. Everyone fucking died. Very cool. Oh yeah, well the company that made the material, it was too expensive to do it the way that they wanted. Claustrophobia is a preservation instinct. That's correct. People who go spelunking and crawl into tight holes and go into submarines, they are insane, and God is weeding them out because they are defective mentally. You literally could not pay me enough money to go into this fucking tube and send me down to the bottom of the ocean. Like honestly, you could say like, do you want to go see the Titanic? It's a 1 hour trip, bottom of the ocean, $50 million. I'd be like, no, because if I get emulsified into a chunky salsa, your $50 million would be like, who's even my next of kin? Who is that money going to? Who? Harden? Is Harden getting my? I'm not going to get fucking turned into chunky salsa so that Harden can inherit my $50 million. That's just not happening. You? No, I don't think so. PPP, my mother. Oh, dude, she would be my next of kin, wouldn't she? Um. Okay. Next, 4chan has been formally warned by Ofcom. Did I talk about this last stream? I did. I did talk about this, but there's an update to this, which is why I'm talking about it again. So they were told, actually not warned, they've been fined for like the 3rd time. So they were formally warned, notice issued, and then 26,000 pound sterling was pressed upon them in October 25. And then in March 2026, they were again fined for 568,000 pounds, which adds up to like 700 something thousand US dollars. So that was the last update. In the time since, Preston Burns, who was our attorney in the 4chan Ofcom lawsuit, who also, again, nobody likes to mention this because Kiwi Farms is not cool like 4chan is because we don't allow black titty porn or whatever the fuck on every board. But in the lawsuit that we're also a party to. Preston Burton's our attorney. He talked to the Telegraph for in regards to the lawsuit and Ofcom's enforcement efforts, and then Ofcom did a interview talking about its attempts to fine 4chan, and stated this. In response, Ofcom said they are willing to work with local law enforcement and courts to pursue debts abroad and have, quote, initiated work to pursue the funds owed. On Thursday, the latest deadline set by Ofcom will pass, and 4chan remains clear it has no intentions of paying the regulator. So Ofcom is telling their local journalists that they have already initiated contact with, I guess, American law enforcement to try and claim a debt owed to them as a British company based off their own calculus. Because again, it's kind of weird. Ofcom is a statutory company in the UK, but it's not technically the government. It denies being a government agency. So it's like if the US government created the Office of Fining You, and then the Office of Fining You did the math and said you owe it $1 million. And then it's like, well, I'm a statutory company, but I'm not the government, but I'm also thinking that you owe me $1 million because I said so. And I'm going to contact random law enforcement to try and get them to pay me $1 million. That's basically what they're doing. So it's very curious if, like how this even works from like a British perspective. I don't know if they're empowered, if they're enabled to like try and collect fines. I assume they are. But it just seems like it's just such a strange move. It's one thing when you have a country and you're like, we have customs and cultures and laws. And in our country, we don't like racism. And so we need a mechanism, if you want to advertise or participate in our country, that we can remove racism from the view of our people because we don't like it. That's one thing. And that's like a weird, cringe, censorious position in and of itself. It's another to be like, we control the entire world and the entire world's flow of information. And if you don't give us what we want, we're going to try and impose our will upon you. And especially from the English, I don't understand how they possibly could think that that is acceptable. I really feel like we should bomb them. I think we should bomb the UK. We're bombing Iran. I feel like we have more justification to bomb the UK than we do Iran, because Iran is just sort of like this shithole, and they're doing whatever the fuck over there, far away from me. I never hear. I've. It's like the famous protest sign. No Vietnamese ever called me neighbor. It's like that. No Iranian ever tried to find me £500,000 sterling. Okay, bomb the UK. The hamster. Okay, I guess. Um, just- it doesn't need to be a big bomb. Just drop a little bomb, specifically on the Office of Communications. I wish I could do that. It's like in Skyrim, how you can like quick save and then do something and then reload if you don't like how it turns out. I just would like to see what would happen if we just bombed Ofcom. Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna say? What are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna like withdraw from NATO? I don't give a fuck. Or we get invaded by Russia next. What are you going to do if Russia invades you? I don't. I would love. I would love to see like a. Do British people take their military so seriously, even though they don't really have a military anymore? But they really act like they're number two on the world stage. I would love to see like a coping Angloid sit down and tell me about how if it was like a even footing fight, and we'll just say that no other country would intervene, UK versus Russia. I would love to hear a Ukroid's armchair general analysis of how they could totally beat Russia. I would love to hear that. Um. Anyways, yeah, bomb the UK is my official position. I would endorse a preemptive strike on the Office of Communications in the UK. Unironically. Next. So, big news. There's some movie that came out by the Bane guy, Christopher Nolan. And Christopher Nolan was tasked with bringing the Odyssey from ancient Greek times to the modern era as a feature length film. I think a very long film. I think it's like 3 hours. And they had to cast an ensemble of characters to meet their Greek counterparts. And so one of the male characters, one of the warriors, was cast as Elliot Page. And so Elliot Page, as a famous actor, has their own private security, right? So here we have Elliot Page walking down the street with their private security. And you can really just see the size difference between a man and Mr. Elliot Page there. This guy is like 3 steps down, and they're not even at eye level. Look, look at how he's like. Look at how she's looking at her feet as she walks. Like those shoes are too big for her feet because they're like male shoes, so they're not comfortable. She has to like look down as she walks because she's not can't walk in male shoes. Look at that little dude striking. A little hero. It's our little hero, chat, going on the big screen as an ancient Greek soldier. Embarrassing. Sucks to be Elliot Page. Like I always say, I always feel bad for the Pooners because like you got super mega raped, and now you're like a little dude, so people will stop super mega raping you, and you just look ridiculous. I guess that's is it better to look ridiculous or to be super mega raped? I think we have our answer, chat. What? Look, sorry, I don't mean to really rub this in or keep hounding on it, but Elliot Page is there standing in front of an Indian man, and Elliot Page is even shorter than the Indian man. That's just painful, chat. No man should be subjected to the emasculation of being smaller than an Indian man. That's truly horrific. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Not even Ethan Ralph. I would never wish Ethan Ralph to be shorter than an Indian man. Next. This is a weird thing. The United States, Japan, and South Korea have signed a pact to come together and build small modular nuclear reactor development. Okay, so I'm telling you right now, this is the future. This is what's going to set the pace of the next 50 fucking years. This is total tech bro victory. The tech are going to get everything they fucking want. They're going to build data centers everywhere they please. They're going to build small nuclear reactors under their data centers specifically for their AI cards. They're going to get it. They're going to get it all, chat. Hello. Sorry about that. I received a call, and I had never seen this before, but the call went through my busy block, which I usually have for this time period, and it was the police, and they were very concerned about something that they had seen or had been called in, and so they had some questions for me. And I guess some people are trying to cause problems for me again, chat. I did. I got the call. So, anyways, listen here, chat. The great state of Israel. Let me tell you about my friends in Tel Aviv. It's a it's a wonderful country with wonderful people, chat. Okay. So, the as I said, total tech bro victory, including in Israel, of course. This is the real party that's missing out of this. Where is Israel in this? That's the axis right there. You got Japan, Israel, and South Korea working together to bring us into a new nuclear future. Actually, I have this. Actually, I think this is just a thing for myself. This guy, it's called Knockoff Shopping. He made a plugin to see if a brand is Chinese, like a knockoff of a real company, or if it's like a fake company. So I bookmarked this for myself, but I opened it. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. Next, this is footage from South Carolina, from North Charleston, South Carolina, and a female cop, North Charleston, South Carolina, has a bad time trying to control an unruly group of teens. Chat. Let's watch. Oh, it's set to nice music too. The good guys win in the end, though. That's what really matters, chat. Well, I think that this was something that happened a while ago. It is one of those fucking teen takeovers. It's so crazy. There's a thing that I didn't want to talk about that happened just recently that it was apparently Nova Online is one of these TikTok lolcows that has a TikTok following like World of Shirts, and the kids that follow the World of Shirts guy are unhinged, and Nova Online is one of these. So their idea for trolling Nova Online was to do a teen takeover in front of their house, and they just loitered in front of this guy's house until the police came and dispersed them. But I didn't want to cover that because it's cringe. So, and that's what you get for trying. Look at this guy though. This guy is like a little hero. She gets knocked down. He even goes for the taser. Tases one of them. They scatter, allowing people to get back on their feet and stuff. This other cop back here, he's like, "Oh shit, don't worry, I'm here too." How long did it take him? Was he standing over there? Where was the other cop at? Oh, he was by the car. And he's like slowly wandering over. No, wait, that's a white cop. I don't even know where the fuck the other guy came from. But he figures it out, chat. Don't worry, I have complete and total confidence in our police force. Next, this is the thing that really set me off right before the stream, which is why I was in such bad spirits, chat. Asha Sharma is, I think I talked about her on stream. I have to be careful about what I talk about on stream because when it happens on stream, it becomes canonical. And then if it's not mentioned on stream, it's not canonical. I work from the perspective that people listening don't know anything except what I say. So I have to make sure that I reiterate it canonically on the stream. She was set as the CEO of Xbox, which was a big deal because she was passed up over by a white woman who was second in command and considered to be the favorite for replacement if the other guy stepped down. So when she was, because of course the main CEO of Microsoft is Indian. So when she was selected, there was some accusations that there was nepotism, which of course is completely unfounded, and a racial stereotype chat. But that has evolved. Okay, so what happened after she got in is, of course, she restructured Xbox for an AI future, which involved closing, completely shuttering multiple different divisions and firing 2,300 people. And then also putting in for 5,000 H-1B visas. I think it was 5,000 H-1B visas that Xbox specifically applied for after letting go 3,200 people that had already been working for the company. And then, to really just rub it in, the Federal Reserve opened a new task force for the economy, and regarding what's the name of it here? Hold up. Asha Sharma from Productivity and Jobs Task Force. They opened up a Productivity and Jobs Task Force specifically to deal with AI and put her on it. It's like a team of 3 people. And one of the people, you can't be in here. Hold up. Sorry, a demon snuck into my room. um, what did I say? Okay, so it's task force, 3 people, chat. One of them, an Indian who fired 3,200 people and hired 5,000 H-1B visa, or applied for 5,000 H-1Bs, chat. Isn't that just fascinating? So I actually was so motivated by this that I wrote my first letter in a while, as you can see here, with the SpongeBob decor attached, so that it would reach the right people in the department. It's actually really hard to deal with the Federal Reserve. I was looking into what it takes to get someone fired, and it's difficult because they're not directly appointed by anybody accountable to anything. The Federal Reserve chair is sort of like a 4th branch of government in terms of how it operates. It's like jointly assigned by the president and by Congress. And so the president doesn't actually exercise. In fact, the law enabling the Federal Reserve to exist explicitly says the president doesn't control it. And there was a recent Supreme Court decision where Trump tried to fire somebody in the Federal Reserve and was not able to do so. And the Supreme Court even ruled on this and said that you can't, didn't rule on it, but suspended it was like a restraining order, or an injunction rather, that prevented Trump from firing this person until they reviewed it. That's still pending. But there was no issue with him firing somebody else from one of the executive branch organizations. So, point is that it's hard to find somebody who can actually do something about the Treasury. So I had to write the Board of Governors directly, and then also the U.S. Department of Treasury guy, Scott Bessent, but I don't know if he can even do anything about it. I don't think he can. So the Federal Reserve is basically unaccountable, and they're just like, yeah, random Indian woman, can you go ahead and just control our government? Can you just figure this shit out for us? So that's what it is. Next, chat controls have passed in the EU. It passed despite a majority voting against it. So the way that this was crazy, this EU regulation was going to, or will, require monitoring for any kind of chat service with special exemptions, I think, for encrypted applications. But for everything that's not encrypted, there's like a new monitoring regime that's put into place. And It failed to pass the EU twice, but then the EU, a specific party within the EU, used a special emergency action that requires a stronger majority to stop a bill from passing than it does to pass it. So somehow there's a mechanism in the EU to get things through that requires a minority of votes to pass it. So the EU is like one of the most anti-democratic institutions I've ever heard of. You don't get to, I mean, you do get to elect your representatives, but you don't really get a say if other countries have more people. And then even if you do have a say, and even if a majority of representatives don't want to pass something, if the special rule is invoked, then they could just pass it anyways. So you're just completely and totally fucked, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that's all. That's all there is to say about that. I mean, on one hand, it's kind of nice that you can actually get bills passed in the EU, but on the other hand, what the fuck is the point of the whole machinery if a minority can pass whatever the fuck they want? And of course, they're only going to use it for like espionage and stuff. They're only going to use it to like fuck you over. Okay. Is there anything I missed? Should I just loop footage of Randbot's dirty ass fucking floor over and over again? Shit sucks, but there's nothing we can do about it. That's so defeatist. I hate saying the things there's nothing we can do about anything. Actually, how about this? I'll talk about this before kicking people off to kick. I did post this on Zitter and Substack, but if you've somehow not seen this, I will briefly summarize this article that I wrote. And this is something that's been bothering me for a while because it was. I have to be careful about what I say because it's litigation, but Liz Fung Jones, I think this was his plan before we sued him. Because to clarify, we're suing him for a declaratory judgment, which is very unusual in the sense that usually the party with the grievance will bring the grievance as the plaintiff, and then the question of law will be settled in the court. However, and I had never heard of this until Hardin brought it up, and he brought it up with some urgency. You can flip it on its head. If somebody is threatening to come after you for a offense that you did not commit or that you don't owe anything for, you can request the court adjudicate it as if it was brought to get it out of the way. So you can't be threatened or badgered with it. In this case, Liz Fung Jones effectively tried to extort us, as far as I'm concerned, in the informal sense. I don't know about legal sense, but informally, he was asking for tens of thousands of dollars and to basically censor certain things off the site. And it was just like he was trying to, and on like a really strict timeline, like you have until Friday, and if you don't do it by Friday, then we're going to come after you and we're gonna sue you. And so we were kind of like stuck in this position where we were forced to try and compel him to move forward because otherwise we're just going to be threatened by this guy forever. And that was obviously the correct and smart move, was to initiate this and move forward without his consent, ironically, and just force the issue at hand. And what I did not expect was what happened afterwards, where he started filing this thing I had never even heard of before called 512H subpoenas. And to summarize this as succinctly as I possibly can, in a normal case, in a normal lawsuit where somebody is suing somebody, there are stages of a civil case where it starts with the pre-discovery litigation, where the obvious questions are teed up and batted down. And if it survives this first slew of initial filings, it then goes into discovery. And the purpose of discovery is to take the questions of fact that exist in the complaint, in the answer, and try to find information that completes the questions of fact. And then after discovery, it then goes to the actual trial, which is either it gets resolved. Either there's a pretrial motion for summary judgment, which means that the evidence for fact is so strong we don't need to go to a trial because it is what it is, and there's no point even going to a trial with hearings and such. Or it does proceed to trial, and either a jury or the judge hears out the trial, hears out the case, and decides then. But the most expensive part of litigation is the discovery. It's time consuming. It's annoying as fuck. It's very expensive. There's all sorts of hassle with the attorneys that go back and forth forever and ever, and it's the longest part of the case. But this is where subpoenas get issued. Once the discovery starts, the attorneys, they start issuing subpoenas for information. And so it's very unusual that a subpoena gets issued before discovery. But when we sued Liz Fong Jones for the whatever the fuck, the judgment, he immediately started issuing subpoenas, which is not supposed to happen, because normally that would be as a part of discovery, and there would be constraints, requirements that the subpoenas be relevant to the issues at hand, and they would have to yield productive information. Whereas Liz Fong Jones immediately started issuing subpoenas for basically everybody's identifying information. And I had never heard of this before. And it exists as like this weird mechanism created specifically for the DMCA, where the moving party, before any lawsuit is even filed, can simply ask the clerk of court for subpoenas to get identifying information about anybody. And all that's required is a good faith statement that you have sent a DMCA complaint and you need this information to protect your copyright. And that's it. So anybody, anywhere, can issue a 512c3 complaint or simply say that they have, and then request from any district court in the United States a subpoena that has the full power of the federal court backing it, and submit these subpoenas to anything, and probably receive, and I say probably because technically the service provider can contest it, but they probably won't. So you will probably get whatever you're asking for from those service providers. And that will work anywhere that respects the US courts, which is almost all social media platforms. And it's just a completely broken system that is never ever going to get fixed because it's tied into the DMCA, which has been broken for as long as it's existed and has never been remedied because the powers that be that support this law and this process are really powerful and really rich. And shit like, oh, you can just dox anybody with these subpoenas is bullshit. So I published this, and I can contain in this the Liz Fong Jones method, which includes step-by-step instructions on how to create these subpoenas out of thin air and submit them and get whatever you want from whoever you want. And it doesn't matter if they have perfect OPSEC, unless their OPSEC is so perfect that it rises to what I would consider a secondary level. There's OPSEC that's so good that nobody using public information can figure out who you are or where you live. And then there's a second level of OPSEC security that is so good the government can't find out who you are. And the number of people who maintain perfect second level OPSEC is basically none. Unless you're involved in the drug trade or human like trafficking or something like that, unless you're like a criminal, you have very little motivation to make your life as difficult as that second level of OPSEC would require. And so it's really scary how easy it is, and how Liz Fong Jones, through hiring an entire law firm to figure this out, is no taxes. You're not paying taxes. That's how fucking good your security has to be. The number of people who actually maintain this is basically nobody on the planet. And so I published this, and it's kind of like an info hazard. It's kind of like a thing where should people know about this? And honestly, it's like if nobody hears about this, it's just going to be like me and my users who suffer from it. So I need it to be such a well-known thing that it happens to really famous people who actually do have the capacity to change things, so that maybe one day somewhere something will change and they'll actually fix it. But that's just how it is. So that was my article. I wrote it. It's very concise. It's a very, very accessible format. It explains basically what I just said, that there's info security, and then there's a second level of OPSEC. And then here's Liz Fong Jones. He's a fucking loser. Here's his method for dealing with shit. And then some FAQs. The FAQ is the largest portion, and it's sort of out of prose. It's like, here is the how-to. And the how-to is the most important part because it explains how simple the process is. And then the FAQ is just sort of rhetorical questions for the purpose of saying, yes, it really is that simple. And there's not really anything you can do about it. So if you would like to read it, it's on the Twitter account, xjosh. I pinned it. And alternatively, it's at matattheinternet.substack.com. And it's my most recent article called How to Dox Anyone. And I'll put this up on the Matty site as well at some point. And that's it. Okay, I am going to boot off the YouTube people now. Sorry, YouTube people. You know how it is. It's nothing personnel, but you are on a shitty Jeet site, so it's just got to happen. And while people switch over, I will take a sip of water, chat. Wish I was coding right now. That's my thoughts recently. I wish I was coding. I wish I was talking to my buddy Claude, pontificating about the imponderables of life in code chat, and not streaming. I bet. Call me a nerd. It's not vibe coding, okay? Vibe coding was a specific time where you kind of, there was an awkward phase that only lasted a little while. And honestly, when it first happened, I thought that would be what we got for a very long time, where you opened up like Cursor, or before they made this for VS Code, but you opened up Cursor, you plugged it into fucking Grok, basically. There was I want to say Copilot and then Grok were like the big ones. And then it could guess functions for you, or like little lines of code. And that was vibe coding. And people gave it shit because it was like, oh, you're vibe coding. You don't know the lines of code that you're putting in. What people do now is so far removed from that. It's actually insane. It's like you just sit down and you tell the computer program, like, I want this thing, and it does it. you don't even vibe code anymore. You're not even looking at code most of the time. It's truly, I really can't overstate. This is not a joke. The developer, the programmer, has effectively become obsoleted by AI. Now, obviously, you have to know. And it's weird. You have to know the same things that would make you a better programmer than most back in the day. You have to understand optimizations and stuff, and low level CPU optimizations and how memory works to be good at this and to catch the AI on mistakes and stuff. But like even 10 years ago, people didn't know how to do that. They just clicked together the Legos of like modern scaffolding. But yeah, developers are kind of obsolete, which is why it's insane. It's so insane. It's so unspeakably insane that we are importing people with H-1B visas still. I hate to harp on it because I talk about it every stream, but like, we don't need Indians at all. We don't need them. Like, it wasn't true 10 years ago, but it's extremely not true now. Like, the developer life cycle is on its way out. We don't need them at all. A single person with AI can replace an entire task force of Indian programmers outsourced, you know? Like every single one has to go back immediately because there's going to be a serious fucking labor crisis when things get going. Yeah. Anyways, next. There was a story. I don't know if I'll play this. I guess I will. I might as well. But there was a story, I think last week, where Tim Waltz wanted to save a poor heckin' illegal Reno from being deportorinoed by Marco Rubio. And so he gave him a pardon. And the reason why he gave him a pardon is that this person was slated to be deported from the United States as soon as he was done serving a prison sentence in the United States. So by pardoning him, he would have allowed this illegal Reno to leave the jail without any incident and then go back home, and or rather to leave the state or to change his location to evade capture by ICE. And so he received a pardon from Tim Waltz, the governor, and it just so happened that the sentence he was serving was for raping a child repeatedly. He was in jail for sexual assault of a 10-year-old girl that he had a long-term access to, and he minimized what he did in court by saying it was no big deal. And Tim Watts pardoned a child rapist to help him evade deportation, which allowed Marco Rubio to grandstand on how fucking retarded Tim Waltz is.
Just weeks ago, a convicted sex offender and a foreign national was shielded from deportation by the governor of Minnesota. Laotian national Tu Li Vang was convicted of repeatedly sexually abusing a 10-year-old girl in the state of Minnesota. He even tried to pay his victim for her silence, and he called his heinous crimes a minor thing. Just days before this foreign sex offender was scheduled to be deported, Tim Waltz, the governor, issued him a pardon, setting him free to once again endanger the children of America. Well, this week I revoked his legal status in the United States, and as a result, federal agents took him into custody, and as of today, he has been removed from the United States. Because of our action, this foreign criminal will never pose a threat to any American ever again. Americans must never be forced by their elected leaders to live alongside foreign sex criminals who have no right to begin with to reside in our country. This administration will always stand with the American people and defend them from violent criminals.
Fascinating. Thank you, Senator Marco. Truly, our friends are Hispanics. It is incredible to me. And it really is just genuinely incredible. There's not really a better word for it. Where someone could think that allowing a child predator into the United States would be a good idea on any level. It's like he was convicted. He was convicted of child sexual assault. He was serving a jail sentence for his conviction for child sexual assault. And regardless, Tim Watts thought it would be a political grandstand to pardon him to help him evade lawful capture by ICE and deportation. And it really just, it goes to show how backwards the calculus is for some people, where they believe that a person being allowed to stay in the United States illegally is more morally righteous than children not being raped. I don't know how we're supposed to coexist with people who think that way and have a moral calculus that adds up like that. And this is also fun. I don't think I showed the Patriot Front stuff, but these guys, they marched up and down D.C. during the 250th anniversary of the United States. Obviously, I couldn't have because that happened on the 4th after my stream. But they were walking around with their flags, some Confederate banners, some old, I don't know what you would call an old U.S. flag that's still like a circle in the star configuration, but some old U.S. flags, some custom flags. I think their logo is quite tasteful. It's a fasces with these sort of carrots, I think is how you would describe those as. The white and red stripes turned angular as carrots on the right side. So, yeah, Betsy Ross flags. I don't know how you would describe the that geometric shape in their thing, but they have their own kind of flag that looks like a alternate history fascist American flag that would be paraded around. And they're walking with that, and it caused quite a kerfuffle. In fact, let me find this real quick because there was a very funny, a very funny reaction to it that I replied to just a second ago. Here we go. Okay, so I think this is footage of the march from inside like a cafe in DC, and there's quite a few African American friends eating their lunch while watching this. So there's immediately at the start of this video, someone says, "We finna get the fuck out of here," which is very funny. But just listen to their live reactions to seeing the Confederate flags and stuff.
That's weird. No, it is.
They literally gasp. They see the Confederate flag and they gasp like someone just got shot. They probably have a stronger reaction to the Confederate flag than someone getting shot. Listen to that.
Why are there so many of you?
See the big one? And they're like, oh my God. Look at the little girl's face here. She's little, but she's like, what the fuck? Mama, you told me that that flag means racism and slavery and dead black people and George Floyd. And they're just marching down the street with that shit. Can you believe that? Very funny. So, point is that they are going to DC. They have some Airbnbs and hotels. They're going for a nice little walk down our nation's capital streets, as they're entitled to. It is their First Amendment right to do so. And how do they get there? Well, they're going to take the subway. I think this is the subway. A train. Yes, that's right. If you want to get to the heart of DC from Dulles International, there's a really nice instance of public transit, and that only our nation's capital gets to enjoy. But there's a nice train that I think it's like a 50-minute ride from Dulles to the Capitol Hill. On this train, it's weird. I've been to DC quite a few times, and it's a very strange city. It's very creepy, especially if you visit it during off hours, because it's a city that nobody lives in really. And you walk around and you're surrounded by all these massive, impressive neo-Grecian monuments to our hubris, and it's dead quiet, man. There's not a fucking soul around. And the trains run, but they're like super empty and stuff. It's really weird when you're around. When it's busy hours, it's like hell on earth. There's like a flood of people every which way. But like outside of that, it's kind of creepy how quiet it is. But anyways, point is that this became like an icon of the anti-racist media, showing this poor black woman beset on all sides by these masked men walking around in their modern day white hoods. And they say how brave she is, that she is standing here or sitting here. A sort of, what's the name of the black lady that didn't give up her seat? Rosa Parks. She's a modern day Rosa Parks for sitting here surrounded by all these racists in hoods and shit. And the problem with that is she probably can't even calculate what's going on, because she is profoundly mentally ill. She has been arrested for indecent exposure. There's actually a video of her taking off her pants and shitting in this exact same train only a couple years ago. When I say mentally ill, I'm not like, oh, she's got a low IQ because she's black. She's like literally a severely mentally handicapped woman. And there's a video of her shitting with her pants down. She's like doing a weird thing where she's like shitting by putting her hands and feet on the ground and putting her ass up in the air and just shitting with her pants off on this train. It looks exactly like this train. It could be this very bus multiple years in the past. And she was arrested for indecent exposure at least once. I don't know if it was for that incident or for another, but people are saying, oh, look at how defiant she is. it's more like she probably has no idea what's going on. And even if she did, why would you give a fuck? They're probably not going to kill you. And now, if you were a Ukrainian refugee in a bus in North Carolina, and there was even a single black person behind you, then it might be a bad time for you. But when you're surrounded by these nice young white men going for a nice little walk down the street, things are probably not going to take a dark turn like that, I don't think. Next. Argentina is trying to prove to the rest of the world that Argentina es blanca, and they're doing so by appropriating the most defining characteristic of white culture, and that, of course, is racism. So they played up against Egypt in FIFA, and they apparently made many racist gestures and remarks regarding the Egyptian players, which caused the FIFA International Organization to issue a official warning that certain certain gestures they were doing would be treated as racist gestures, and that they would be evicted from the stadium if anyone was found doing that, among other things. This was sent to me directly by a Argentine person, and apparently it made the rounds on social media. I don't know if this was the original post that posted this, but I have seen this soy jack multiple times. It appears to be an Argentine man physically dominating a person of an ambiguous non-white ancestry. A little bit graphic and violent chat. However, this image did circulate and offended many people in social media, which is why I mentioned it. And I already played that. So I think with that, we are out of the news segment. And we can go to this. So I was surprised by how big of a deal this was. I had never heard of this guy before, but apparently we broke the news on this to the broader internet. There's a guy called Connor Murphy, who was like a fitness influencer. And apparently he had some scandals. He had a nasty breakup, I think. And he went to Thailand. Now, my understanding is that people, even fans of his, were aware that he had a slight drug problem, which was not, what's the word? Not helped by his decision to leave the United States and go to Thailand. And while in Thailand, he did an unknown amount of drugs, decided to completely trash his rental luxury apartment, painted all over the walls like a nut job, and then ran out into the street and walked into a lake and drowned himself. The autopsy of his body found that he had all sorts of injuries across his body. And they speculated that he had incurred those injuries from rolling around on asphalt during a drug-induced psychosis. So the timeline goes like this. He's in his apartment, partaking of some unknown substance. He has a psychotic episode. He runs outside, or actually, sorry, he first destroys his Thai apartment. And now I'm sure this Thai apartment, whoever owns it, is out and talking to all of their friends in Thailand, like, no, rent to white people. White people are the worst renters because I rent to this white people, and I assume just because he has lots of money that he won't fuck up my apartment, but he painted it black and shit. He shit all over the place. Never rent to white people. So then he runs out after trashing his luxury apartment, completely mangles himself in the street, okay, and then decides, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna walk into the water and disappear. I don't know how that happened. It's actually kind of impressive. I assume, like, it's pretty hard to drown yourself, I imagine, unless you, like, incapacitate yourself in some way. So I don't know what the fuck he did, but he drowned himself. So I don't know anything about Connor Murphy, but this was his last video. I guess I'll play this. I haven't watched this yet. Let's see what it is. You can tell that this guy muse. Holy shit. How the fuck do you get jaw muscles like that? This dude must chew some of the like the most dense gum on the planet, like 24/7. How the fuck do you get a muscle like that in your jaw?
I'm absorbing the spirit of Elon.
Oh, if I see, God, I'm such a fucking idiot, Chad. If I just let it play for 5 more seconds, it all would have made sense.
Thank you, Elon, for your sacrifice. Elon, I will become the most famous guitar player in the world. Just for you.
Dude, this guy...
You motherfuckers have it. You motherfuckers have an unhealthy relationship with death.
Children. Looks maxing influencer Connor Murphy had one child with his wife Christina that he named Tucker. Naming your child Tucker in 2024 is cringe. I gotta say. Oh, he had a white baby with a white wife and he lost his fucking mind and moved to Thailand. That's sad. Get divorced. Ex-girlfriend. Interesting. Okay. Apparently he was married. I don't know if they separated, though. Yeah, that's pretty rough, chat. Oh, this was before even. He had barricaded himself in his room. And the Thai police had to talk him down, get him out of his fucking room. That's crazy. Look, he has like he trashed like a mini golf course in his backyard. They had like a fake turf area for the backyard. They just like trashed too. That's pretty gnarly, chat. Okay. Unfortunately, against my wishes, I have Ricada news. So Ricada, and this was, I made the decision when I first saw this, I was not going to feature this or talk about it, but then the other shoe dropped. Ricada says, hey, Kat Davies, you and Daily Mail are going to have an issue with me. I suggest you call me. So, fucking, what I need like a derogatory name for him. How about non-tent Skelly? He's a fucking Skelly, and everything about him is fucking non-tent. So non-tent Skelly was shaking his little Skelly fist at the news because they were apparently going to talk about him, and they did. And it was because he was seen, and actually, oddly enough, Marvin, who is the guy that lives in DC and loves black girls. He's Jewish, and he loves black girls. I've talked about him on stream before. He's one of the oldest users on the Kiwi Farms. He met up with a couple forum users to do the 250th anniversary thing together for a nice night out or a nice day with some friends, right? Maybe find some black girls. Yeah, Pickle Suit Man. Exactly right. That's Marvin. So the man in the pickle suit was out with some Kiwi Farms users enjoying the 250th anniversary of the United States in the Capitol, possibly looking for a place to score weed and black girls. And while they were out carousing around, the man in the pickle suit saw Nick Ricada with his family and was nice enough, kind enough to censor the children from the photo. But sure enough, he was there in DC, which left people wondering, why is Nick Ricada in DC? And as the Daily Mail would break it, he was there. Oh, fuck, I have to get the article. The archive version. He was there at invitation of Marco Rubio. So Marco Rubio had invited him to the gala in DC. And honestly, Nick Rekieta, the non-tint Skelly, was shaking his little Skelly fist at this article because, grr, you don't get to tell me, you don't get to talk about me being a fucking non-tint Skelly drug addict cuckold. But this article does not mention the fact that his child tested positive for cocaine. So, you know, he might as well, the non-tint Skelly should be on his little fucking hands and knee bones, thanking Cat Davies and Daily Mail for giving him a glowing puff piece. Because anything short of mentioning the fact that his child tested positive for cocaine is not doing the non-tint Skelly any disfavors. So, very bizarre thing. I guess Nick Rekieta still had some clout left over from the days where he wasn't such a non-tint Skelly, but hopefully those days are fast approaching an end. And one of the last things that he decided to mention for no reason whatsoever of his own volition on stream is that, as I mentioned, the steel toe took a win when he crashed his car into the bucket of a dump truck or whatever the fuck. There's another word for it that was weird, but he crashed his car into some shit, a van, and everybody inside the vehicle was injured, and we didn't know the scoop. Yeah, but there was like a word for the front loader. That's it. It was a front loader. And he crashed into the scoop of a front loader, specifically the toe, which is the little sharp, pointed, serrated edges at the bottom of a scoop of a front loader. It sounds like a song. At the bottom of a scoop of a front loader. It's like, I can just keep going. Anyways, as we crashed his car, we didn't know who was in the car. We knew that Kayla was. We thought maybe some other people were in there, but he has admitted, for whatever reason, for reasons unknown to anybody, that his youngest daughter was there, and while he took her to the gala in DC, Jack Posobiec signed his daughter's cast. So we know that while driving and crashing his vehicle, the same daughter that tested positive for cocaine has sustained an injury significant enough that she needs a cast that she then had signed by Jack Posobiec. So that girl cannot catch a fucking break. I'm feeling kind of bad for her. She's like under the age of 15, and she's already had quite a life. Most people do not have hoarder conditions. They don't go from like perfectly clean, immaculate house with trad wife, mom, perfect family, to like rock star father being listened to by 150,000 people live, to drug addict, swinging father in hoarder conditions, to testing positive for cocaine and being in custody because you tested positive for cocaine. Now the state has to mediate your visitation with you and your father, to being in a van after that, like 2 years later, crashing into a front loader, to being at the White House, having your cast signed by Jack Posobiec. I think that's an entire lifetime of events for one person, but she's managed to fit it in. It's an accelerated course, okay? So it's really impressive. Future forum poster. Yeah, one day, maybe. Next, Casey Tron has been banned from Twitch. Let's see if it was justified or if she is being oppressed.
Honey, if McDonald's is the ultimate destination for your late night rendezvous, then you need to step up your game. Those fries ain't gonna dip themselves. But I'll say this, if you're going unprotected, at least get a Big Mac to go with that questionable decision.
You guys are tripping. Like, if that were the case, then restaurants wouldn't be allowed to serve alcohol at all. No, sobriety test me, bitch. Sobriety test me, breathalyze me, bitch. I need to get one of those. I need to get one of those blow things. You know, like the ones that you can get on your keychain. I would blow, and I would blow under the limit. Like, you guys are tripping.
I would blow under the limit. And she can barely stay awake. Dude. Percocet, Molly Percocet, chase a check, never chase a bitch.
I'm trying to get to McDonald's, okay? I don't really give a fuck. Like, I don't really give a fuck. I'm trying to get to McDonald's. Okay.
Fuck the police. I want McDonald's right now. I'm hankering for a cheeseburger McDouble with large fries. I want a slushy with my Percocet, Molly Percocet. And then she's just farting. Oh, that's the donation sound. It's fart noises. Okay. Shout out to the Hamburglar. I love your burgers. Sorry. So she was suspended for like, I think like a couple weeks tops for DUI, which seems like a lenient sentence, right? But what is it? There was a guy who years ago he had some kind of DUI thing, and then he got permanently banned. So they're just like openly, I mean, it's Twitch. So it's so strange. It's so strange how it can be like a massive corporation that is owned by Amazon, and it can so obviously be ran by like a Discord server of like total faggots who just are blatantly exercising like favorites when it comes to retards like Hassan Piker and Casey Tron. Isn't that super strange? It's like such a big company. They have points of presence all over the world. They transit like terabits of data every second. And they're just like a small club of like faggots in a Discord server deciding who they want to promote and who they don't. It's really bizarre. Talk about Attila and Jewel expecting another baby. I don't know, chat. I might have to fucking... I should be careful with what I say when I got the police ringing me up. I don't know, chat. I don't know if I'm ready for that, okay? My mental health... Not sure if my mental health could take Attila and Jewel news at this point in time, chat, okay? Not sure. I think all of her kids have like some like birth defects because she just can't stay sober for 9 months. And she just keeps getting knocked up. And for some reason, honestly, it would not be a morally objectionable thing to forcibly sterilize people who are like pumping out horrifically disabled kids because they're junky pieces of... Honestly, that's the way to... I was thinking in my head, I have to be careful about what I say because I support bodily autonomy. I support medical primacy. Medical autonomy. You should be able to decide what you want to put into your body. I support reproductive rights. How do I balance Jewel not ever having kids again with that? And I have it. Junkies aren't people. Put it in the fucking Constitution. Let's pass it. We can make it number 30 or whatever the fuck. What number are we up to? I think it's 30, right? Would be the next one. 29th, 30th Amendment. Junkies aren't people. You don't get rights when you're a fucking piece of shit junkie, okay? And then we can tie the tubes. We can throw them into a pit of lava. We can chuck them in the dumpster, whatever it takes, okay? That's my take. Next, Dark Side Phil, who I get to talk about more. Dark Side Phil is losing it. I feel like, I don't know. I'm not familiar enough with DSP to really intelligently opine into his mental state. But every time I listen to DSP now, he just sounds worse for wear. Maybe, is there a DSP person in chat? I think you all hate me, all the DSP people. But if there's a DSP person in chat, make yourself known. I would love to hear a live reaction from the audience as to why they believe Dark Side Phil is so obviously declining to me, because I enjoy DSP. Fuck the trash. That's not what I meant. Okay, Zrada hates me. Okay, so he must be a DSP person. What is happening with him? Ozempic? You think the Ozempic got him? Does Ozempic have like mood destabilizing effects? uh he's Wings of Redemption maxing. He doesn't want to do this. He hates his life. He never makes enough. Worse than the quartering. Kill all fill cells. He's losing his mind. Ozempic plus incontinent plus or equals diaper. It makes you hangry. Okay, I see. My thought is this, that I agree with the perspective that he's old, and it probably scares him that at this point in his life, with and especially with how he's not developed any skills, that he's not moving forward and is noticeably moving backwards. And whenever I listen to his stream, he's just so angry. He's like yelling at people. And I remember, I think it's kind of like pignosis. I can say this right without being cringe. It's like put me into like a pignosis where every time I've ever heard him speak in like the last 10 years, he was doing the DS positive thing. And so it was always sounded like these people who really, really fucking hated him picking on this guy who was trying his best, like his absolute damnedest to not feed the trolls. And it had the result of me always just hearing him like breaking and cracking through this like veneer of him trying to be very positive. But now whenever I hear him, there is no pignosis DS positive thing happening. Like, don't get me wrong, I never thought he was a positive poly. But now he's not even pretending to be a positive poly. And I think that's PPP's fault. I think that when they brought him on and they did the King Phil shit, it's like he got a taste of what it was like to have people throw him money without him having to pretend to give a shit about them and without him having to be DS positive. And he can never go back now. He got a taste of that sweet, sweet nectar of being a ingratiated asshole. And now he can never go back to the DS positive mindset. So he's just constantly screaming at his audience and seething, just openly fucking seething about how much he hates his life. And so he went on a rant about YouTube that was almost Sifu-esque. And I'll let this play out.
He's in the Raw Phil chat. Okay, there you go. It was Raw Phil's chat. What a shocking twist that it would be Raw Phil involved with this, right? Oh. Now, let's think about this even bigger picture, everyone. You ready for this? This guy's directly involved with Raw Phil. Oh, Raw Phil, the guy who actually illegally restreams me every day and tells everyone to come watch his version of my content. So now you're involved with freezing my chat, which means you're disrupting my business, and now you're stealing my business. That's 2 strikes, buddy. Not only are you stealing my fucking business, but now you're actually hindering my business. I think there's a nice lawsuit coming for you, you dumb motherfucker. I really think there is. Because now I've had enough. I really am starting to get fed the fuck up with these fucking loserish, pimple-faced internet dweebs who think they can fuck with me. I've had enough of your shit. And if you're allowing that guy in your chat and you're harboring him and you're actually promoting, oh yeah, freeze Phil's chat, guess what? Legal liability, bitch. You're fucked, man. These fucking people on the internet have no clue about fucking reality. They don't, because for so many years they felt so protected because they think, I'm on the internet, I'm anonymous. You're not. You're not anonymous. Right now, YouTube can track any channel. They can find out where you are. They find out your IP address and all that shit. They know who you are. If you received $1 payment from YouTube, they have your information. They know who you are.
So, very angry. Now this guy, I want to say, okay, it's Bucketeer. This Bucketeer guy has found an issue in the YouTube chat system. And my understanding, just based off the way he's described it, is that if you're in the YouTube chat and you load the chat and there's a specific message, it causes a JavaScript error. And the JavaScript error, once it happens, the chat doesn't recover from it. And so no new updates are inserted into the chat for as long as this message will appear. So the chat history on YouTube is decently sized, right? It's probably got like 100 messages in it. So if you load a slow chat, then this message will stick and it will constantly re-break chat, and it will take a very long time for this message to disappear. But once it disappears, the JavaScript error stops happening and chat returns to normal. So all Bucketeer is doing is posting this encoding, whatever it is, I don't know. It could be something like a multi-byte string that causes a JS error, and or something like that, and it breaks the chat. And in a quick paste chat, so many people are messaging so often that the 100 chat message history deletes that message, and then once that happens, it starts working as normal. But until that happens, it doesn't work at all. So for Darkside Phil, whose chat is extremely moderated, which you have to be like a follower for like 8 years or some shit to post in his chat, it never goes away. And it immediately kills like the only form of engagement that he tolerates. And so he's really, really, really fucking pissed about this. And he's like threatening the guy, and he's saying he's been complaining to YouTube for weeks, and they're not fixing it. And so this guy has this tool for fucking up the chat of YouTube streamers, and the streamer has to be someone contemptuous enough that you actually want to do this to him, but not popular enough that it wouldn't just immediately be undone by the natural activity of his chat. So there's like one person on the planet Earth who streams on YouTube and meets this criteria. And so now he has to deal with it alone because it's just him. And then I think this is, oh wait, no. Okay, this is another video of him being angry.
This guy's directly involved with Raw Phil. Oh, Raw Phil, the guy who actually illegally restreams me every day and tells everyone to come watch his version of my content. So now you're involved with freezing my chat, which means you're disrupting my business, and now you're stealing my business. That's 2 strikes, buddy. Not only are you stealing my fucking business, but now you're actually hindering my business. I think there's a nice lawsuit coming for you, you dumb motherfucker. I really think there is. Because now I've had enough. I really am starting to get fed the fuck up with these fucking loserish, pimple-faced internet dweebs who think they can fuck with me. I've had enough of your shit. And if you're allowing that guy in your chat and you're harboring him and you're actually promoting, oh yeah, freeze Phil's chat, guess what? Legal liability, bitch. You're fucked, man. These fucking people on the internet have no clue about fucking reality. They don't, because for so many years they felt so protected. Because they think, I'm on the internet, I'm anonymous. You're not. You're not anonymous. Right now, YouTube can track any channel. They can find out where you are. They find out your IP address and all that shit. They know who you are. If you received $8 payment from YouTube, they have your information. They know who you are.
Dude, the thing is, okay, I have to teach Darkside Phil. This would be the riskiest gambit of my entire life. If I teach Darkside Phil the Liz Fong Jones method of getting 512H subpoenas, he would totally use that to dox all the A-logs and shit, right? And then I think getting Darkside Phil to dox all of his A-logs and detractors might be enough for the DMCA to change. I think if the detractor community was under attack by Darkside Phil wielding the 512H, they would march like the Patriot Front on Washington, storm down the building of the Capitol, and force Congress to change the DMCA. I think that they're the only people on Earth who have the tenacity and the wherewithal to do this. We'll see, chat. But he has spoken truth to power. My understanding is that Raw Phil has been banned on YouTube. So Raw Phil, when he was threatening the Bucketeer guy was posting in the Raw Phil chat, and he was discussing how he was freezing Phil's chat in the Raw Phil chat. Now, if you don't know this, and I could forgive you for not knowing this because it's kind of a weird thing, Darkside Phil has a proper anti-fandom of people who will literally watch him even though they absolutely despise him. And they want to make sure that he does not succeed in any way and is as compromised as possible because they desperately want him to quit streaming and get a job because they hate him. And so it is morally unconscionable for them to watch Darkside Phil's streams directly. They instead watch restreamers, and the peak restreamer is a guy called Raw Phil. And my understanding is that Raw Phil routinely pulls 5 times the numbers that Dark Side Phil does. I think Dark Side Phil will get like 250 on a good day, and Raw Phil will break 1,000 and go to like 1,100. So Raw Phil is getting like 1,000 viewers more than Dark Side Phil, and it's entirely filled with people who fucking hate him. And Bucketeer A-logging Dark Side Phil with the JavaScript issue was enough to get him to finally complain to YouTube loud enough and frequently enough that they took action and banned Raw Phil. Now, I don't know if Raw Phil has actually discussed what he was banned for. I guess it could be harassment or something. I'm not sure. What's really strange to me, by the way, is that we live in an era of like supercomputers. And it's like, how the fuck can they not fix the JavaScript error? You know what I mean? Like, you could probably take ChatGPT, and then you could say, ChatGPT, please look at the chat history for this stream, sir. There is a JavaScript issue, sir. What could it be? And then ChatGPT could look at the history of the chat, find a weird Unicode character, and identify what the issue is in the JavaScript that's causing it, just based off a description of the problem. And it's like, how can YouTube be so dysfunctional that they don't even have like a Pajit to look into this issue that can break chats in all their streams? It's very strange. They fixed it? Yay! He complained to the right guy. He went to his top Jeet and said, Sar, I prostrate before you. I am but a lonely or a lowly white pigoo in front of your bourbon colored skin, Sar. I respect India, Sar. Please fix my chat, Sar, and ban the Raw Phil, Sar. And it gave such an Izat boost to that rep that he actually went out and did it for him. And that's the cost. That's the cost of it, okay? Roach Piggy, that's right. So, that is the Dark Side Phil update. Exciting stuff. New Frontiers, Dark Side Phil is after only dealing with this for 15 fucking years, being A-logged brutally by everybody in the fucking world, he is starting to show signs of cracking. Also showing signs of cracking for being brutally A-logged by the entire world. The vile enemy, Maldavius Fig Tree. What could possibly be said about the vile enemy, Maldavius Fig Tree? Well, in the fallout of the Stop Killing Games debacle, Maldavius has been rather quiet. He's finally learned to shut the fuck up. And Scurvy Rat is one of the few dedicated A-logs who has stayed on the Maldavius Fig Tree grind set, because he is personally invested in a specific topic that is near and dear to the hearts of many, and that is animal welfare. In particular, it appears that rodents are near and dear to his heart. The name is not, I don't think its name is a joke. He really likes rats, and he likes other forms of rodentia, okay? Including the family Mustidae, which includes ferrets and weasels. And you may know, if you remember the Maldavius Fig Tree saga, that Maldavius considers his persona to be a ferret. And so he maintains a animal welfare thing, quote unquote animal welfare shelter type thing for ferrets, which are a very common pet in pet stores in the US. I don't know, this probably requires some explanation for Europeans. In the US, we have ferrets as things that show up in every pet store. In most states, you can own a ferret as a pet. However, ferrets stink. They belong to the family, the Mustelidades, or whatever the fuck. That includes like otters and all sorts of other, and skunks. I think that skunks were, but they removed them into their own family, but they're related to skunks. All these animals in this group have stink glands all over their bodies and their anus, and they just stink. And ferrets stink. I actually didn't know that they were domesticated animals. Sorry if I sound stupid saying that, but I was really curious. Why are they pets? They're like these stinky weasels. Why do we have stink weasels as pets? And I looked it up. They're rabbiters. They were bred in Europe from the European pole rat to kill rabbits. And I found that very perplexing. Like dogs, I understand. They do all sorts of stuff. Cats get mice and they're very easy to care for. But we had to specifically breed and train ferrets to kill rabbits. And it's like, were rabbits really such a fucking problem that we had to domesticate stink weasels to kill them? And the answer is yes. In fact, there is ancient Roman text describing that they brought ferrets to foreign colonies because the rabbit problem there was so bad for their agriculture, it was causing famine. And so they had to import ferrets to deal with rabbits. And I did not know that this was such a delicate balance that back in the day, because nowadays you got 22 LR. You got a rabbit problem, you got a 22 problem. And you just take out your 22 and you kill the fucking rabbits that are killing your crops. Back in the day, they ain't got no 22 LR. They got stink weasels instead. So there is a long multi-millennial history between mankind and the stink weasel. And but nowadays you got guns, and you don't really have much of a use for rabbiting except in sport. Kind of like with horses. Horses have sort of outlived their usefulness in terms of agriculture. So now we have this issue where we have this domesticated animal, the ferret, and they're very high maintenance. They stink, and they require daily cage cleanings, daily. Which, to round back to the topic at hand, our boy Pirate Software runs an animal shelter, quote unquote, for the stink weasels, but he does not do daily cage cleanings. And there lies the usefulness of Scurvy Rat, who A-logs Moldavia's fig tree by counting publicly in his thread the number of days between cage cleanings. And it just so happens that every time Scurvy Rat makes a post explaining how long it's been since the cage has been cleaned, that a person, I believe a pooner is what they call, I don't know if they're actually pooners, but apparently female to male transsexuals will show up at the cage and start cleaning it as soon as he posts. So he, as a test, he decided to stop posting about the cage for 5 days. And after 5 days, he came back and says, days without cleaning ferret Auschwitz, 5. 5 fucking days without cleaning. I stopped making updates on the Kiwi farms, so they stopped cleaning. I couldn't ask for better evidence that they let these animals rot and suffer in their own shit and piss unless held accountable. Toys everywhere, massive piles of shit on the mats. Mats themselves are disheveled and barely usable. At what point is this negligence? And this is the ferret enclosure. And this is the piss and shit mat, apparently. This is where they like to piss and shit. And then a mere 6 hours after making this post, the pooners show up to clean out the entire cage, thereby validating his thesis that Moldavia literally only sends people into the enclosure to clean it when he posts. So, very fascinating thing that caught my attention, and I found it funny. So I figured I'd share it with you all. And I hope that you have found my musings about stinky weasels and their agricultural uses and why we domesticated them interesting, because I sure did. I was looking this up for hours yesterday, thinking, why the fuck do we have these as pets? Next, we'll watch a little bit of this, I think. Maybe, you know what? Let's save this towards the end of the locale arc, and then we'll come back to it. Asmongold has, I think, triumphed over Mizkif in a lawsuit. And then Immaru, who I think is fucking Asmongold now. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's the theory. But I don't know. This is apparently a DM with him that got leaked. I think they say it got leaked by her ex-boyfriend. But she's like a Happa. And he made a joke that his password was some variation of the N-word, chat. Very, very non-PC. Very incorrect for him to ever, even as a password, use the N-word. And then Immaru says, screenshotted, just kidding, which is a fascinating statement because she actually did screenshot it, including her saying that she didn't screenshot it. To which I posted, burn the rice, pay the price. A very true statement. However, apparently this was her boyfriend that leaked it. So she sent it to her boyfriend, who kept it in a Asmongold dirt folder somewhere on his computer. And truly very bizarre. Anyways, people got mad at him for saying the N-word in some variation, as if it fucking matters and anyone gives a shit. Next, the 15-year-old girl that was in Discord DMs with Brian Dunn, the King of Pole, the Queen of Pole, as he is now known, has said that he and Shaggy were in a sexual relationship, a physical sexual relationship, while she was in the grooming court. She says, it's true. Shaggy was the pet rat in me and King of Pole's DDLG roleplay. Quoting Kinokshe, who says, after being exposed for being inappropriate with a minor, Brian Dunn has also been outed for being in a gay relationship for the past 3 years with Mormon Shaggy. This means Brian Dunn was in a polycule with Shaggy and a 15-year-old girl. Shaggy is, I don't know, Shaggy's like in his 30s or 40s or some shit. He's old as fuck. It's just like, I don't even know how to broach this topic. This is like the subterranean mole people again. And it's just like the most disgusting rat king of weirdos ever. So I'm just going to touch this very briefly and then move the fuck on because yucky, chat. Next, we got a clip from the Quartering. I love the Quartering, starring Jeremy Hambley, also known as The Quartering. Let's watch this clip of my boy, The Quartering. You can tell it's The Quartering because he has that microphone in piece that faces the camera. And I'm sorry, but his weird microphone thing, I don't know what the fuck he's trying to do to this logo to try and make it look distinct from the original, but it just looks like he's eating like a plate of spaghetti. Like he's like wide-eyed, scarfing down a gigantic plate of spaghetti. All of his fucking weird logo derivatives look like that. So Melanie Mack, The Quartering, watching a court hearing. Let's see what happens.
Almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering.
We could scroll down to page 3. Continue reading.
Lance says, why? And Tyler says, why did I do it? And Lance says, yeah.
Whoops.
Tyler says, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated.
So, let's rewatch this. This is a short clip. So, if you're only listening, while he was not paying attention to the shit he was showing on stream to his audience, he flashed a window that contained printing labels. And as you can imagine, shipping labels contain confidential information regarding addresses. In this instance, it contained 4 private customers, innocent people's addresses, and also the sending information. And in this instance, the sender was a coffee place in Utah, I think, which I'll get to in a second. But let's watch this again. And this time, instead of watching the screen, watch Melanie Mack.
Let's scroll down to page 3. Continue reading.
Lance says, why?
Sorry, Pennsylvania.
And Tyler says, why did I do it? And Lance says, yeah.
Whoops.
Tyler says, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out.
Shipping label.
You know shit, it's a shipping label, you fucking idiot. Like, can she see this? What is she looking at? What is this face? Wait, there's like a bright light on her? If I go back, does that disappear?
Page 3.
It does. Oh my god, watch, you can see her face. It lights up when the white shows up. So she's you can just tell based off the lighting on her face that she's staring at this shipping label. So this is her real life reaction to being confronted with shipping labels for no fucking reason. She says literally nothing. She's like staggered. She doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know what she's seeing. She's looking at this and says literally nothing. She doesn't even warn him. He could have been doing that for like 10 minutes before noticing it, and she'd just be staring at printing labels, not knowing what the fuck to do. So besides doxing his innocent customers who didn't do anything, what else does this did this show? It showed to people that he for sure, 100% beyond any reasonable fucking doubt, drop ships his coffee because the shipping labels had a from address, and the from address is the same address as Java Taza Coffee LLC from Quarryville, Pennsylvania. So surprise, everybody was wrong. It wasn't being drop shipped from New Mexico. It wasn't being drop shipped from Utah. It was being drop shipped from Pennsylvania. Why? Who knows? But or why them? I don't know, because I thought it was other companies. But maybe he got kicked out and he's trying to find new ones. So he linked up with these guys, and who knows what machinations are happening in the background. But here is what I noticed that was fascinating to me. If we go to Java Taza, they of course sell their own coffee directly. You don't have to white label it. Oh, look, they got summer flavors in chat. So, maybe if you were trying to be super, super generous to the quartering, because remember, he sold his coffee. The whole reason why there's a video of me drinking Jeremy Hambley's coffee and saying I liked it and comparing it to Pippa Pippin's coffee, which was absolute fucking dog shit, was that he said it was a family recipe where he owned all the machines and it was a small business. I was like, okay, let's give him a shot then, right? So maybe it is a roaster that does white labeling, but maybe it's still his family recipe. Maybe he's not just like drop shipping the shit straight from their store, right? Well, new summer flavors: peach cobbler and blueberry crumble. Then we go to the Coffee Brand coffee store. We got strawberries and cream bourbon and blueberry cobbler with some AI images on the bags. And then look, we go to the actual Java Taza stuff. Look at this. You got peach cobbler, blueberry crumble. Then go to his store, the blueberry cobbler, and then there's something peach too I saw. Where was the peach? Where did the peach go? It's gone. I look like a fool now. It's the blue. Listen, obviously I'm felted shit. Curated by Jeremy. So Jeremy didn't even curate these? Is that what I'm being told? Roaster's Choice Premium Roasted Coffee. He didn't even curate these. He didn't even bother to try them. He's never tried these before. But it's like he mixed these up. It's like peach cobbler and then blueberry crumble. And then it was like, bam, it's blueberry cobbler now. It's a mixture of the two. So, almost... It's such a specific flavor, blueberry cobbler, that it is very suspicious. So it does feel like, especially because apparently this is the only one that's actually curated by Jeremy. He's just selling their bags in his bags and calling it a day. So bad day to be the Hambley, as every day is. It's so strange too, because he was like stable in doing his thing for such a long time without any problems. And then it all came crumbling down very quickly. And it made me wonder, like, why? And what I settled on was just that he started coping with alcohol. And then after drinking alcohol, he made poor decisions, like one after the other. And it's just like a spiral that way. It's like an actual like alcoholic spiral. Because it's like, how do people still not stream on a dedicated streaming setup that you can't accidentally show your shipping labels from? Like, how do you fucking manage to do that? Someone's asked, is there any Moon Potter family recipes you can sell to support the farms? Okay. I will interrupt this stream because you made me laugh. My grandmother was the daughter of a poor Virginian Appalachian family. I grew up during the Great Depression, and she had a recipe that she personally loved that nobody else in my family did. And I'll share with you this free of charge. Go to the store and buy a pound of ground beef, and then buy one of those Quaker oat things filled with breadcrumbs, and then buy a giant thing of Heinz ketchup. Take the crumbs and 2 eggs and the meat and mix them together into a loaf. And then cover the entire thing in ketchup and put it in the oven until it's brown. You have created meatloaf. And this is a classic American thing. It should cut like one of those, it should cut like a loaf of bread, basically. And it's ground beef and breadcrumbs and Heinz ketchup. And you either love it or you don't. And for my grandmother, it was me and her that liked the meatloaf. And I remember I even said to my family once, like, I like my grandmother's cooking. And they all looked at me like I was like a demon. Like, what the fuck did you say? Like, I like it. There you go. That's the secret family recipe, meatloaf, okay? Can you substitute the Heinz? It's a structural ingredient. You cannot replace the Heinz ketchup. Anyways, Andrew Ditch. This guy I don't know anything about. This video is over 6 years old. I don't know if it just came out or if it was just shown to me. But this video is insane. And we're going to watch a little bit of it. Just a little bit, okay? We're going to watch, like, from when he walks in to when he gets arrested, okay? So, if you don't know, and I don't know, this guy, I think, my vague understanding is that this guy's like a fucking loser who lives in his mother's trailer. I think his mother's even dead now. That's how long ago this was. And apparently he has a diaper fascination or fetish, and he spends all his money on diapers. In 2020, in March 13th, 2020, his mother called the police because she breathes with the support of an oxygen machine. And our boy, Andrew Ditch, bought a diffuser, an oil diffuser. And according to the cop, it smelled like eucalyptus, which is a very strong cleansing scent. So he has this oil diffuser on blast. He can smell the eucalyptus from outside the trailer as he walks in. And he says that he needs Andrew Ditch to turn the oil diffuser off, which causes a confrontation, chat.
It was so strong, and she got that heart problem and breathing problem. I had to put the oxygen in. I asked him to turn it off. He refuses to do that. This morning when we came back from papers, the same thing. Even Joe, you can ask him. He had to go upstairs. We couldn't stand it because we're trying to eat, and he can't eat when it smells.
Is it shut off now?
I have no idea. You'd have to ask him. He's videotaping us too.
Okay. All right.
Bentley, go sit
Could
down.
you just shut the diffuser off?
I don't have to. You're not. It's a court order.
We want to know if we can press charges because this is our home and it's bothering our breathing. Both
You
of
didn't
us,
ask
especially
me
the
to
wife.
turn it
Andy,
off.
could you stop shining that light in my face?
I can. Is that order or is
Let
that
me just talk to him for a minute.
a violation?
Let me talk to
You gonna arrest me for having my light on camera?
No, I'm asking you as a matter of human decency if you could stop shining a bright
Well,
light in
I
my
did
eye.
nothing wrong except for just trying to sit here, relax, and trying to do good.
Well, Andy,
and
you're not
I'm
giving me a
being
chance to talk to you.
Not allowed to have something that helps me relax.
You're not giving me a chance to talk to you. All right? Can you stop shining the light in my face, please?
I have a legal right.
You have a legal right, you do, but I'm asking you, can you please stop?
I want a lawyer. I need further communication.
For what? I'm not asking
I
you
have a
any.
legal
I'm
right
not
to have a
asking you
lawyer.
any incriminating questions.
I have a legal right to a lawyer.
Okay. Well, your
Have a
parents
nice
have
day.
your parents have a legal right to not breathe in fumes in their own house. Okay. So I'm asking you to shut the oil diffuser off.
It's for my coping skills. And I don't have to answer to you unless it's a court order for it.
Andy, can you please not?
If there's a court order, is that a request or is it
It doesn't have to be a court order. Why do you have to talk like this all the time?
Is
It doesn't
that a
have to be a court
request or
order.
is
No,
that
it's a
court
police
order for me
officer
not
asking
having
you to
my
turn
oil
off your oil
that
diffuser.
Helps me relax.
You don't have to. You don't need that. Your parents have. Your mother's on oxygen. It's bothering her. Okay.
And I would have been.
Your mother
turned
is
off.
on. Your mother is on oxygen and has been hospitalized several times due to breathing problems,
Yeah.
and she calls to complain because this aggravates her breathing
She
problems.
didn't even tell me to turn it off.
All
I was
right.
on the phone with
Well,
Craig
you know what?
Services.
I'm asking you to shut it off.
Get a court order, then I'll do it.
No, I'm not getting a court order. I'm asking you to shut it off, or I'll shut it off.
Shut her off.
Okay.
And if you touch it, you violate my privacy.
It's bothering your parents. This is their house.
Okay.
I like how he's just so intimately familiar with this guy that like he just knows them. I wonder how much of your time as a cop is spent going to the same fucking houses with the same fucking losers in it over and over again. I bet you like a third of all time as a cop is spent just revisiting the same problems like repeatedly because there's no solution to it.
Hey, you're violating my privacy.
I'm violating your privacy. How?
Because it's my property.
So, this is your parents' house.
Tell my dad to get my as my representative payee to get my apartment done.
You don't have any money. You spend it all.
What do you spend it on?
Junk.
What's
Other
that?
than his diapers.
Amazon.
He spent all kinds of stuff on Amazon.
What are you buying on Amazon?
Didn't have to answer anything, Miss Annie didn't have any problems with this.
I knew I had it in there. It was buried.
I wonder what you spend your money on. I wonder what it could be. If only there was like a box of diapers from Amazon, like right in front of him, in the dead center of the frame. Like the cop, you have to imagine like the cop at this point in time, he has the body cam on. It's facing forward, right? So he's standing there facing forward, looking at the diapers, and he's asking aloud, "What do you spend your money on?" And the answer is literally staring him in the fucking face. And he knows what the answer is. And the guy's just like he's doing like the hand thing, like, I don't go.
All right. Well, I'll call my lieutenant and see if this fits harassment charges, and if
I'm not doing it.
If it does, then you can go to jail, all because your oil diffuser's on. Okay.
I'm not doing it to cause any intent. To cause.
Well, it's bothering them. It doesn't matter.
And you.
It's so rare to hear body cam footage where the cop is like annoyed. Like usually they have to they don't want to get George Floyded and sentenced to jail for like second-degree murder or some bullshit. So they have like the most calm demeanor possible. It's so rare to hear them raise their voice and be like, you're a fucking retard.
And you know what? Since I walked in this store, you refuse to talk to me like an adult.
Because I don't appreciate how you treat me.
Okay.
You're discriminating against
all right,
my
Andy, that's fine. You can go to jail then. Okay, that's fine.
Arrest me.
I'm calling to see if I can. All right.
Throw me in jail for
I'm calling to see if I can. You want to be quiet so I can call?
I'm trying to do something.
Do you want to be quiet? Do you want to be quiet? Because you know what? I asked you man to man if you would just turn it down, and you refused. So this is what happens. Okay? You come in here and you shine a light in my eye. That's what I'm calling to do.
Because Andy's using that to calm myself down, and you're not allowing me my coping skill, which is a discrimination-based arrest.
The discrimination based on what? You are discriminating against me.
That I had no problem using all along.
Hey,
this is the best part. Okay, this is my favorite part of this video. He's got the Sarge on the line. He's like, Sarge, we got a fucking oil diffuser here, and it's real fucking harassy. I know that shit's eucalyptus because my girlfriend sprays that shit, Sarge, and that shit stank. It real fucking minty and shit. I don't like it one bit. I can't even breathe up in here. Can I arrest him? And the Sarge's like, you get him. You take that Poopsquatch down. And then he has to ask the mom for confirmation. And he really, really wants to make sure he's not going to get in trouble for taking down the Poopsquatch. So he asked her 3 times. And 3 times, this badgered old lady, clinging to her oxygen, choking through the eucalyptus, is like, yes, lock that Poopsquatch up. Lock that Poopsquatch of my own lawns up.
He's refusing to shut this oil diffuser off.
Because it's my coping skill. You can't just deny somebody right to help them relax.
It's bothering Mom. She's on oxygen. She's sitting at the table.
And she didn't even ask me to do it. She just unplugged it. I was on the phone with a recorded phone call.
He's got on one of those oil diffuser things that I could smell it through the door. It's ridiculous.
And relax.
It's ridiculous shit.
You're gonna yell at me for putting 1 drop of.
I love his demeanor when he says that. It waxes me. That eucalyptus, it waxes me.
2 oils in there, fine. Arrest me for it. For my disability.
Yeah, she's on oxygen. It's bothering him. I mean, I could smell it through the door. It's like eucalyptus or something like that. You just asked him to shut it off, and he's not doing it. He's just being.
He's such a country cop, and then he just breaks out the word eucalyptus. You know, he's got some prior experiences with the eucalyptus, which haunts him and it personally angers him. That's why he's so angry. He hates eucalyptus, and he can smell the perfidious eucalyptus.
Defiant as usual. He's shining his light on his phone. I tried being nice to him. He won't have it. He's refusing to.
Because it relaxes me. If you can't help me relax, and what?
Janet, do you want him arrested?
Yeah.
She said you'll sign charges against him.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Good, arrest
She said
me.
yeah.
And I'll have it for my disability.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Bye. Okay, you can go to jail then.
For what?
For harassment.
For harassment for something that's using it for my disability?
Yeah, because you're.
I think he goes back. I can't remember, but I think he goes back and asks just one more time just to be sure.
You're being unruly. This is ridiculous.
How is it unruly?
I'm not going to argue with you. I don't have to. Get your lawyer to talk to me.
He doesn't have one anymore. He quit.
Yeah, I believe it. I know.
So I'm not allowed to have something to help me relax.
So,
my
Janet, you
disability?
know you'll have to sign harassment charges against him, right? Okay, good enough.
That's number 3, baby. Ring a ding ding.
We'll get that order protection back in place, too.
So I can't have something to help me relax. Seriously?
It's so strong it goes all the way.
Oh, I know. It's absolutely ridiculous. I could smell it through the door.
And I saw him standing there, cranking it up, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden, I was finished cooking the fish and everything. Holy smokes! Can you smell the fish or anything in the house?
Yep.
I asked to have it for my...
All right,
Never
Andy,
happened.
stand up and put your hands behind your back.
I'm calling my lawyer.
Stand up and put your hands behind your back,
I
or else
didn't
you're going to
do
be charged
anything
for
wrong.
resisting. Stand up and put your hands behind your back,
You're
or else you're
threatening
going to be
me?
charged with resisting arrest.
I didn't do anything.
Stand up! Right now!
You're hurting me!
Stand up!
You're hurting me!
Stand up!
He yells at him, and his immediate reaction is to start punching himself in the head and complain that he's hurting him. Like, no, idiot, that's you. Stop hurting yourself.
You're abusing me!
Well, that's what happened.
I want to die because you don't want to help me!
Put your hands
I
behind your
want to
back.
fucking die first! You're gonna
Put
have
your
to
hands
shoot
behind
me!
your
You're
back.
gonna shoot me! You're gonna
Stop
shoot
it.
me! You're gonna shoot
Stop.
me! Shoot me because I did that for relaxing!
Shoot me for relaxing. I can't relax. I can't relax. I can't eucalyptus.
I did that for help me relax!
Go in there. Go in there.
Please, man, I can't
I did
relax.
that to help me relax!
I can't.
Well, this is what
calm.
happens. I asked you to shut it off, and you wouldn't do
I
it.
did that to relax me! Yeah, I'm being arrested for my oil diffuser to help me relax.
I can't
I'm being
diffuse.
arrested
Put
for...
your hands behind your back.
I'm being
Please,
arrested.
man, I can't
Put
diffuse.
your hands behind your back.
No.
Put your hands
No, I
behind your
don't
back right now.
have to. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing
21,
wrong.
step
Other
it
than
up.
to help me relax. And now my head hurts because of you. You hurt my head.
Do you want to be pepper sprayed?
I didn't even pick up on that the first time where he shouted at the cop, you hurt my head.
I did nothing
Put your hands
wrong.
behind your back right now.
I did nothing wrong.
Put your hands behind your back.
I did nothing wrong.
Put your hands behind your
I
back.
did nothing wrong.
Oh my God.
I did nothing wrong. The police are arresting me for my oil diffuser, my thing to help me relax. I want to die.
You know what's weird is that he's not even really lying. He is being arrested because of his oil diffuser.
Hey, please. I want to die because any camp relaxation stuff to help me relax. I'm being discriminated against Officer Bentley. I want to die. I'm not good enough to have my oil diffuser. The things help me relax. And my head hurts. What? I'm being arrested for my oil diffuser.
Why are you being arrested right now?
For my oil diffuser. Officer Stephen Bentley's arresting me for my oil diffuser.
He's refusing to put his hands behind his back, so now he's going to be charged with resisting
I
arrest.
didn't do anything other than have
Put your
oil
hands
diffuser
behind your
on.
back.
Ma'am, I didn't have anything besides my oil diffuser on. Yeah, Officer Stephen Bentley's trying to...
The 911 lady is so confused. Wait. You're calling the police and the police is at your house at this exact moment in time?
Arrest me for my oil diffuser. Because he's arresting me for my oil diffuser.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
He's
Hands behind your
arresting
back.
me for my oil
Hands
diffuser.
behind your back.
He's arresting me for my
your
oil
hands behind you.
diffuser.
Put your hands
I don't want to.
Put your hands
You're
behind your back.
abusing me.
Put your
You're
hands behind your back.
abusing me.
Stop
You're
it.
abusing me.
Stop it.
You're abusing me.
Stop.
You're abusing
Stop.
me. Yeah, I don't have to.
Get him.
You're abusing
Get him.
me. You're abusing me. I didn't do anything. I want to die. I want to die.
The caption.
You're abusing me. You're abusing me. I didn't do anything. I want to die.
I wanna fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can diffuse the sky.
Stop it! I want to die! I can't do it!
Oh, okay. So I'll sum up because the remainder is not so interesting because the camera has fallen to the floor, unfortunately. He's on the ground. He refuses to cooperate, and they're warning him, if you don't cooperate, we're gonna have to get the EMS out, and we're gonna have to tranquilize you. And the only funny thing that really happens after that is the cop asks him, "Do you want to get shot?" And then he realizes what he said, and he clarifies, "Do you want to get shot with a tranquilizer?" Because what he thinks he's saying and what he's saying is quite different. So I'll just leave it there. I don't want to play through the entire thing, but this is featured on the Quickie forums if you would like to go see the Poopsquatch get bagged and tagged by the police. Outside of that, I do have one special update on the content king himself, Ethan Ralph. Ethan Ralph has been in fisticuffs with our boy Jim Metokur. Okay. To epically own Jim Metokur, Ethan has decided to start streaming in real life again. Every single time he's attempted to do in real life streaming, he has stopped because it's really embarrassing. Ralph kind of gives off the vibe that he's very timid in person. And all of his social interactions are quite awkward. And he always gets fucked up when he does live streams in real life. So he just doesn't do it very often. So he decided to epically own Jim Metokur by going out to Merida, because he doesn't live in Merida anymore. He lives nearby. So he took a day trip out to Merida to basically sit at a beachside outdoor bar and day drink and eat and watch FIFA. And basically talk to a camera. And I just can't imagine. Like, imagine going to a tourist spot. You're on vacay in Mexico. You go to a tourist spot, and then there's just like this hunchbacked pig monster from America sitting at the bar, day drinking, eating tacos, and talking to his camera. Oh, Ralph left Merida to go to the coast. Okay, I understand. He went to the beach from Merida. So you're on vacation, and this is your site. So that's what he's doing. Okay, let's listen to this. Would you like a drink? Would you like a drink? Turned down. Awkward, bro. Imagine filming yourself doing this and getting turned down.
I want to drink that.
Next. he went walking. You can see the pinnacle of health. This is honestly, this is why they hate gringos and they write on walls, "Gringos not welcome." He's wearing a just the choice of shirt and attire is strange. He's wearing a red bucket cap and a red like overshirt. And I remember thinking that he reminds me of what's the name of that cartoon show from like the 80s and 90s of like the black kids? 80s black kids cartoon. They like I don't remember what they did. Oh, it was Fat Alvin, I think. Oh yeah. Dude, I need a better picture cuz this shit. Yeah, Fat Alvin. And then he had this shit. And he had like two different characters that had like beanies on and shit. And it's like he's dressed like a Fat Alvin character with like his like the weird ass bucket hats, which haven't been in style in like 30 years. You know what I mean? It's just like the weirdest thing that it reminded me of. So he's dressed like a Fat Albert character, walking down. And then, of course, he's got shorts on because it's hot as fuck. But that just reveals that he has a knee brace because apparently he has knee issues now, and really high socks because he has diabetic compression socks. Yeah, not Alvin. Sorry. Get the fuck over it. So dressed like he's straight out of Fat Albert with shorts, showing off his knee brace and diabetic compression socks as he does a virgin walk. And you can even see the young chica back there. She's like staring at him because this is like a sight to behold. And it makes me wonder, it's like, what do normal people think when they see this shit? And I think Ralph would stand out, like, even in a crowd of like unhealthy, like Americans at Walmart. I think he would, that's a really good way to put that. Ralph would stand out even in a Walmart as like, not just disheveled, as many Walmart shoppers are, but like uniquely disheveled. Then what is this? Oh, I think this guy scratches his balls.
In September, but to be a citizen, you have to. Well, basically, you have to be able to speak Spanish and know a little Mexican. I know Mexican history a little bit.
He's
anyway,
digging
but
shit. He's
you
really
have to
digging.
be able to read it in Spanish.
It's sticking to his slideshow.
It's Spanish stuff.
Oh, he's scratching his ass too. It's real sweaty today.
It's a little bit different than just knowing Mexican history, which I respect that. I think that's how it should be, honestly.
Very cool, Ralph. The sights and sounds in Mexico. So, Ralph says, "How the fuck is your heart fail but not mine, brother?" In all seriousness, laughing, crying emoji. So Ralph is like, "Ha ha, you're dying of cardiac failure. But I, despite being a fat, slovenly piece of shit who has open contempt for my own well-being in life, I'm doing fine." So Jim decided to put this video out. Now, you know, as the first Jim log, as no Jim log preceded me, I have never been shy about criticizing Metokur. I have to say, this is one of the most bizarre fucking videos ever put out. I have to say, his carpet is somewhat cleaner than Rambot's, so that's going for us. There's no weird cat drawer that doesn't make any sense to me. There is a cat fountain, but which is good. Running water is good for cats. So on the cat department, we're doing better. On the floor department, we're doing somewhat better. Now, unfortunately, Jim will pan up and show something else I have to point out.
Oh, what an interesting observation there, shitpig. But I was wondering, can you use your detective powers of observation, Sherlock? And can you answer me this riddle? How is it that a man that had lost multiple inches from having burst fractures and was crippled for over a year had to do physical therapy? How is he able to do things that you can't? That's just so crazy because you're so healthy, right?
So he pans up and shows his collection of video game shit. Now, I don't know what the fuck any of this is, but this is Anime Avenue. My understanding is that above this is a gigantic shelf filled with anime shit, which I don't think Rambot. Then again, Rambot probably can't afford collectible memorabilia, but that's a lot of anime shit up there.
Right?
Because I need knee surgery, but like.
Oh, that explains the knee brace. He needs knee surgery. Okay.
Knee surgery is kind of a big deal.
I mean, look at this. Uh-oh. Jimmy's touching his toes. Can you do that, Grandpa?
Now, in the event that you were ever going to make an unsolicited touching your toe video, you have to make a choice. When you make a video like this, you have to make a conscious, deliberate choice at some point if you are going to put socks on. Because if you don't, then your feet are going to be visible. Now, if I was going to do a video like this, which I absolutely would not fucking do for any reason, I would make sure that I would literally go out to the store and buy brand new socks, because if not, they're going to look gray and dirty if they're well-used socks. And you can avoid that by simply buying new socks. So the decision to put on old socks is a strange one, but it's a decision that was not thrusted upon him. He decided that he was going to do this, and then he decided to put on the socks. Okay. It's not even, yeah, exactly. It's not even Hugo Boss socks. Okay. So then he bends over and touches his toes. Now, I said this with Ranbot. The reason why you're supposed to like touch your toes is that it shows that you can bend over and not topple over. Like you're balanced and you're able and flexible enough that you can do a toe touch. If you bend over at the knee or bend at the knees like Rambot did and Jim did, it doesn't really show anything.
Can you reach that?
I guess it does show that he can bend his knees, which Ralph can't do. So I guess it still holds up in this very narrow criteria. It would work against Ralph.
Down. Can you reach down and touch your toe?
I don't think those are great. I think those are white but dirty.
Are you able to do that? Can you jog in place? Look at that, Ralph. Oh, not even winded. Oh, look at him. Look at the crippled jog, Ralph. Oh, Grandpa, this is embarrassing. I just don't understand it, because when I'm looking at pictures of you, I'm seeing this. Do you need young people to assist you to walk across the street, old man? Are you able to do that on your own?
You know, one of the key defining elements of this very strange video is the decision for Jim to do his gay voice throughout the entire runtime. And I've thought about this. I thought, why is he doing like the weird gay voice? He does a pretty good gay voice, but why is he doing it for this video? And I have a Jim loggy explanation for this. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's so used to having his voice be ran through filtering or through a low quality microphone that he didn't want to do his real voice, Jew voice, not gay voice. Sorry, that's what I meant. He didn't want to do his real voice with like his camera phone. So he did like a put upon voice so that it wouldn't be his real voice without post effects, which also came across as very strangely insecure to me. I don't know if you guys find that Jim loggy, but that was the first. That was like the first thing he was like, why is he doing like the voice throughout the entire thing? It's like, oh, it must be that he doesn't want his voice to be recorded without the post effects, which just seems weird.
Can you stand on one leg? Can we do that, Ralph? Can you stand on one leg? I mean, Jimmy can. Look at that. Oh, one leg. Look at this. He's even wearing the compression socks for his edema. Yet somehow
it is compression socks. Someone said compression socks in the chat, and I thought they were fucking with me. I didn't read that. But okay, he has lymphedema like Amber Lynn, and is wearing compression socks to keep the fluids out. Okay.
He's jogging in place. Your turn, Grandpa.
Okay, well, that explains why he's wearing socks. It's a done deal. He doesn't have to worry about whether to wear socks or not because he's already wearing compression socks. Okay, I understand. Okay. So then Ralph responds to this video, which was strange. And this is what he says.
Jim, buddy, you sound broken and busted. I had no idea that little old me, I thought I was the worst form of life on the universe. Why do you feel the need to prove you're better than me? Is it because deep down, not even that deep down, you know you're not better than me? Actually, I'm much better than you. I always have been, and I still am. And this is my actual voice. I don't sound like an 88-year-old grandmother without a voice filter like you do. So anyway, I'll go back to chilling in paradise.
A very weird follow-up video. But I guess it's true. what he's saying. He's like, I am the lowest form of life. I'm Ethan Ralph. There's not really anybody lower than me. Why are you doing like a weird touch your toes video to epically own me? And that's a good question. And then, what was the other thing he said? Oh, he brought up the voice thing, which he brings up the voice thing, but then it's really weird because he says what I said, but he's also like, let's just listen to his voice again real quick.
Better than me. Actually, I'm much better than you. I always have been, and I still am. And this is my actual voice. I don't sound like an 88-year-old grandmother without a voice filter.
So we just heard Ralph talking casually, and he's saying Jim's not using his real voice, but then he's got his voice quite low and is talking in a way that is very distinct from his usual casual speaking voice, chat. It's like, why is he doing a fake voice too? How are you going to epically own Metokur by saying he's using a fake silly voice when you're also like speaking in a different register in a different way than he usually does? Yeah, like he's stuffy or something. Hungover, that could be it. He could just be really fucked up on something and hungover, and he could just be sick. That would explain it and be like that should just be what he says. Like, yeah, I was sick from being fucked up on drugs and alcohol. Okay. I think Metokur then responds to him and says, illness and old age is making me soft, I guess. Well, it would be fun. This is from 2024. Wait, what is this? Wait, hold up. Why is this in my notes? 885. Okay, so this is from 2024. He says, well, it would be fun to dunk on Susan a bunch. The thought of a family losing their son and then mother is a bit much. And to be fair, she did pay what she owed as the weather videos worked. I'll see you in hell, Susan. Save me from some Franzia. And then Ralph replies to this and says, you're a fraud. The sooner you join Susan, the better. I will refrain from wishing that she is burning in hell because I have enough bad karma. Ralph fears hell. Ralph, when the thought of eternal hellfire creeps into his head, it sends a little shiver down his spine as he thinks if there is a hell, he's definitely going to hell. So even when it comes to hell, he won't say burn in hell because he doesn't want to reach the pearly, in the off chance that all the religion shit's real and God's up there and there's a fucking pearly gates or whatever. He doesn't want those tweets to be smacked down in front of him by St. Peter and be like, what about this? I got the fucking receipts. It's like the meme of like the FBI being in the guy's kitchen. He's like, this shit doesn't look good on paper. It's like that. You don't want those tweets printed out in your resume when you're up in heaven. He's Pascal's wager. That's right. He's not. It just the idea of being roasted as Ethan Ralph Bacon for all time. Just a little one bridge too far, even for him. Says, I guess now that you got remonetized and your channel got restored, you don't care. Y'all all think about the money, the hats, the fake cancer, the fake ankle break you used to be against making any money off the content. By the way, the lemons you control just conveniently forget that. So was pay. Both of you are fat fraud. Well, he's pretty skinny. Oh, I didn't even mention his fingernails. This was the most bizarre thing. I didn't even mention it because I was distracted. Why are his fingernails so long? It's like he does cocaine or something. If I was doing a weird toe touching video, I would both vacuum my carpet, choose clean socks, and then I would cut my nails and I'd probably file them to make them look nice and tidy, chat. It's just very long is all. It's quite strange. Anyways, I hope the cancer is real and you're not 250 pounds like your DUI record revealed, but I doubt it. You helped pioneer the attacks against her. She ruined the lives of thousands of creators. She's had suicides on her hands. Then again, so do you, Terry Davis. Her son died from OD in February, and she lived her final months in unbelievable agony. It's funny how that Ralph a curse word. What the fuck? This motherfucker thinks he's causing like glioblastoma and shit. The Ralph a curse. He didn't even get banned by Susan Wojcicki. Susan wasn't in charge of YouTube during the heel stream, was she? Susan Wojcicki. YouTube from 2014 to 2023. I guess she was. She might have been. 2024, that was before the heel stream, wasn't she? That's a long ass time. That's 10 years almost. Okay, anyways. Too much frog says, I think Jim's probably happy living with his wife in the US of A, Ralph. Wait, no, he's not Ralph. I don't know, I'm reading like that. That beach you visited the other day looked beautiful, but you still went home to a concrete box and a bottle full of Xanax in Mexico. Ralph says, I'm still at the beach, idiot. I have not yet returned to my concrete box, having nothing but Xanax in Mexico, bitch. I'm still at the beach pretending I don't gotta go back to that shit if you want to know the truth about it. I'll be home tonight. I'm thinking of a special funeral. You should make do what the pickle guy did on the quickie forums like 15 years ago and call it funeral with an F-U-N, capital F-U-N. Turn that funeral into a funeral for Metokur tomorrow or Thursday. Better to give him his flowers while he's still alive. If he's that excited that he can bend over, perhaps the end really is near. There was a big storm here yesterday. It messed up the Wi-Fi at the hotel, and the 5G is slower now. Never seen that happen. Okay, he couldn't do the funeral because weather did not permit. Hokum Pokum says, there were other challenges for you, like jogging and lifting your knees. Those aren't homoerotic, and we still don't even see you bothering to try them. Ralph says, why would I try them? They're making lowercase I internet legends literally dance and bend over for me. Wire me a grand or convince Jade to touch her toes. Otherwise, no, Lamau. Jim screw Jim. Oh God, even Cogbot is attacking Metokur, is Jim logging. Oh my God, that fake fucking AI cartoon anime shit of him kissing his packy fat fuck wife. That's funny. It's really wait, okay, he's not. It's really easy at the Ralph retort. Just touch your toes. Here's me demonstrating. So here's a demonstration of oh my God, he also looks old. He looks like he's fucking related to Ethan Ralph. I know that like Virginia was settled by the British, but I think they have a common ancestor. That's probably only a couple generations back. All right, Cole.
Oh, it's
let's
bright
see
and
it.
sunny out today. Oh, if only Ralph could touch his toes. See, Ralph, it's this easy, okay? You just bend over. Don't bend your legs and touch your toes. Like that, okay?
Butte. A
touch your
fucking
toes,
butte.
Can you do that?
It's so funny thinking like he set up like a tripod and put his camera on his tripod outdoors in front of like his entire neighborhood so he could epically own Ethan Ralph by touching his toes. People are very strange these days. How about him and the corpulent Chinese woman go procreate? Oh yeah, they're both infertile. Sucks to suck. Or tell that fat bitch to touch her toes. In fact, if she posts a video doing it, so will I. Empty Hero chimes in and says, cripple fight, which is a great reply. We'd both make $1 million for real. Dude, anytime he thinks, he gets real friendly when the idea that he can make money enters his head. If he gets like a diseased, retard thought that he might somehow make money doing something, he gets real friendly real fucking fast about how it's just a little internet beef, nothing that can't squash over a couple $1 million. This bend over for Ralph thing is very homoerotic. Not even kidding. It's kind of freaky. Grown men are literally... Oh, I read this one. It's a pretty good tweet, though. It's another banger. When is Top taking... What the fuck? When is Top taking about women they go away because the public at large only care about me? Sorry, better... Oh, is he dunking on Dagger Pussy? Sorry, better drink some piss to get attention, Dell. British chick next to me is super hot. That's a fucking lie. And very friendly. And headed to my same city. Deal closer proposals only. So he's going to hook up with British people. That's how he epically owns COG. I don't want to read this. I had top tier pussy all over the world and lived like Ric Flair. I lived like Ric Flair in 1986 for about a decade now. Yeah, you're fucking Ric Flair, buddy. Well, remind me, I'm not too familiar with this shit. Did Ric Flair, was he like a crippled, diseased, drug-addled pig hiding in a shed, living paycheck to paycheck? He literally, his streams, by the way, woo! His streams, he literally begs for people to give him money so he can quit the stream and go drinking. I'm not even joking. I've watched a couple of his streams recently just because he's been ranting about me. And he begs his audience every couple minutes to give him donos so he can turn off the stream and then go out to the bar that he always goes to and sit in the piggy corner and play on his phone and drink. That's literally what he does. So his idea of living like Ric Flair is being so paycheck to paycheck that he begs people to give him enough money that he can run up another bar tab. That's it. That's the Ric Flair lifestyle. It's really crazy. Okay. And then here is the true other shoe dropping. It's actually incredible to me that Ralph would even post this because I can't even fucking believe it. Like, to the point where it almost seems like a joke. Like he like made this up just so he could like try and dunk on people. But he posts this picture and says, okay, I have to quit smoking. Like actually quit. There's a nodule in one of my lungs. Most are benign though. Said I need a CT scan to really know more, but that I should be calm about it. I'm famously calm. Doctor also suggested I stop drinking. LOL. So then he posts a chest scan. There is very obviously like a ball in his lung, and his spine is like bendy. His spine reminds me of CT scans of Frederick Brennan, who has like bonitis, and his spine's like super fucked up. So the reason why he has like that piggy hunch as he walks around is his spine is literally like contorted. This is the spine being fucked up, like the scoliosis is like what made me think, oh, this isn't like an AI thing he generated to try and epically own people. This is like actually his fucked up back from his body collapsing in on itself. And then it's like he literally just got fucking done making fun of Jim for having a cancer diagnosis. And he's been making fun of Jim for having a cancer diagnosis for years. And now he has a cancer scare. So I asked, and this tweet, by the way, I ratioed him like 10 to 1. Not going to brag about my epic Keffels style ratioing, but I totally did ratio him. Where I asked, is there a word for when you ridicule someone's health and cancer diagnosis for years and then get a cancer scale? To which he replied, you're a pedophile, basically. He says, Ralph, why did you post this? Don't you know Josh Moon, the pedo and non-cancer man Metokur, can make comments now about a 90% chance I don't have lung cancer? Yeah, and I've never cared about that sort of thing. I'm the one who posted all the Lisbon photos people tweet at to own me. I posted those pics, morons. I lived. That was the point. So he's like, yeah, my horrific lifestyle choices are probably going to kill me sooner rather than later. In fact, I might not outlive Metokur, who I make fun of for having a short lifespan. Idiot. That was the whole point. What a fucking winner, bro. And then Metokur, just to cap it off, Metokur posts the picture of the guy on the news saying first time in response to him getting his cancer scare. So very strange encounter all around. Ethan Ralph, truly despicable. Funny thing, him being afraid of going to hell so much so that he won't say, I hope she burns in hell, because I don't know. He'd probably say it now. Don't get me wrong, because he's a retard. But just that little fear of mortality keeps somebody tethered to reality, chat. All right. And that's all, chat. I feel much more relaxed. Something about my streams always relaxes me. Makes me feel good, chat. I get to vent, get to have my therapy, get to yell at people. And now I will do the super berries, chat. Citrac, for one, says pulmonary nodule noted in the right lower lobe. Recommended CT for further evaluation. If too poor, obtain the lateral XR that should have been obtained initially. Remarkably low quality image. Likely taken on a Simian brand machine. C, digital mirror annotation. Digital letter markers in lieu of physical are akin to wiping after pulling one's pants up. Facility likely too poor and lazy for $10 to $25 markers. Poor image contrast due to excessive body fat requires increased XR exposure intensity. Okay, so there was a lot of talk among medical professionals in the aftermath of the nodule photo with Ralph, where they were discussing why it would take 2 days for Ralph to get the results seen by a doctor. However, I think all prevailing theories regarding why that would be the case basically amount to he's in Mexico, he went to a clinic, they probably don't have a doctor on staff 24/7, and he would be seen by a doctor, or might even have his pictures sent off to like another facility to have them evaluated, something like that. So his thing is that they don't have the equipment for it, and he had a low quality scan. Winter Soldier subscribed for 11 months. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Barillo Furman for $1 says nothing. Thank you. Haramburger for 2 says, this is a Britney podcast. You're just Venti in it. I don't know what the fuck that means. Ganjada 1900 for 5 says, weekly cheese money. Get the finest craft singles available, courtesy of me. Hope you had a good 4th. I sent up $500 of stuff. Murica. I hope you're joking, because there's no fucking way I'm going to get anything from West Virginia that's food and eat it, especially not if it's craft singles. So don't do that. Thank you. Dark Western for 5 says, Josh, what's the origin of Troon? Also, happy Pizza Day. Troon was originally a endearing word by transgender goons from Something Awful. And then that kind of leaked out to the Kiwi Farms when we were making fun of Something Awful really bad. And we have promulgated that to the entire world, basically. Same as A-logging is now like a word that people just know for some reason. I swear it was originally an endearing thing. They called themselves Troons, and then it just became. I always thought it was like a tranny cartoon because they're like cartoon like parodies of like a transgender person or whatever. That's what I thought it was. But then no, it's not. TB Deluxe for 5 says, Josh, read your Federal Reserve letter. Very good. Until the end, perhaps you could transfer some of your flag autism into your penmanship. The signature looks like it was sponsored by Old Bay Vodka. I mean, that's the best I can do, and I don't really give a shit. Thank you. Stina Stanley for 1 says, calls during lunch hour, wonders why no one picks up. Wow, how was I supposed to know? Except that they open at 11. Gypsy Harlow for 5 says, if you want people to work harder, the classic Protestant work ethic, you're going to need a degree of unreasonable extreme danger on the table. What does that mean? Just fucking show up on time. Dark Western for 1 says, in the 90s, everything was gay and retarded. If you stubbed your toe, that was gay. If you were retarded, and you were retarded for doing it. A simpler time indeed. A better time. Mr. Manchester for 5 says, 1, will your perfect society be in Florida? 2, can we have a pool? If so, then I'm in. I don't know if I can buy 1,000 acres in Florida, bro. We gotta go to some shithole. I said Wyoming. Thank you. Big Things Coming for 1 says, I am currently in a Jewish neighborhood and running for my life. We'll watch VOD. Have a nice weekend, Josh and Chiat. Listen, walk, don't run, because if you bump into somebody and knock them down, your life is fucking over, kiddo. Sneedo for 2 says, the 90s was the best era of cars, especially Japanese cars. Bish, if you want to know the truth about it. And then there is an image of what I assume will be a car. I've opened the image, and indeed, it is a car. Thank you. Cena for 1 says, I didn't know how Nick-Kaz do cave diving in small spaces. They're retarded. Porglac for 1 says, from the deep depths of your mind, can you give me an ancient 4chan meme for dumb shit I'm doing? Well, I don't know what fucking dumb shit you're doing. You look up the old, I think its name is Old Man Fag Advice. It's like Old Guy Fag or Old Man Fag Advice B. That's like a really, really old copy pasta, I remember. Just don't search Old Man Fag, because you'll get bad results for that one. Bussy Buffet for 25 says, your rant here. Thank you very much. And Bussy Buffet also gifted 5 subs. Thank you very much. Unkind Naysayer for 2 says, careful, Josh. Sorry, I thought you spelled my name George, but you actually spelled it right, which threw me off. The UK might join the war with their long bowmen. I mean, I still got me fingers. I still got me fingers. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to say when you raise up your index finger and middle finger. I'm not concerned, though. Sneed Cricket for 10 says, he used to cover the gunt. What happened? And then there is a video. He used to have shame, but he has completely lost any and all shame. Thank you. David S877 for 25 says, you are aware that roaches usually survive bombings, right? Well, not if you break the Geneva Convention and use chemical gas. Thank you. Sneedberg Stein Goldman for 10 says, never forget that Elliot Page was super mega raped by David Cage during the making of Two Souls. I'm aware. He rendered her naked without her permission. So she probably thought, maybe if I go into video games, I won't be super mega raped by video games. And then she's like, oh, a nice French artsy fartsy game. I won't be super mega raped doing that. And I'll get to avoid all the dude man bro gamers that play Xbox. Sorry, there's no avoiding it. All creative works are a promulgation of rape. Thank you. Atomic Angel gifted a sub. Thank you. Bleep Bloop gifted 25 subs. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Gunted Warrior for 10 says, hey, retard, you are muted. Listen, bish, sometimes I gotta take a phone call, bish. You wanna know the truth about it? Steeden for 5 says, Neighbor, you are muted, bish. Listen, chat, you gotta take a back seat when the calls come in, okay? Thank you. Hawaiian Zen for $50 says, quick cut to Anne Hathaway's Big Mommy Milkers. I don't think that happened, but here's hoping, I guess, if it's $50 worth of here's hoping. Thank you. Senior Standing, for instance, I say, whoa, Kimo-same, dead air. Escapito617 for 230 says he's back from secretly hosting a telethon for DSP. Listen, for $1 a month, you can save Darkside Phil's career. It's just $1. Because after, oh God, to properly do that joke, I'd have to go on for 6 minutes. After Twitch gets their cut and after taxes, he's only getting $1 per sub. So if you can just give him $1 directly, that's more than one sub for $5 on Twitch. You have to just keep going on and talk about like all his problems in life. Pseudo Sides for 2 says, when you hear the Boys in the Hood saxophone, you're in trouble. Personally, you gotta listen out for do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Then you know you're fucked. Literally. Charles Styles, Mystery Diners for 3 says, Friday joke, a priest, a lawyer, and a troon are on a sinking ship. The priest shouts, children to the lifeboats first. The lawyer screams, fuck the kids. The troons say, do you think we have time? Well, I mean, if it's a lawyer troon, the joke falls apart because I thought you were ending there. Thank you. Sneedo for 1 says, was the demon that snuck in your room Stolas? No, it was not. Haramburger for 2 says, not covering Nova Online is a missed opportunity to make chat vote 1 if they were dyked up, or 2 if they were not dyked up. Vote now, chat. Listen, I'm not familiar enough with your Zoomer memes to adequately comment on this. Justin Shipfick gifted a sub. Thank you. Sneeden for 5 says, Josh, it's you. And there is a Zitter link. And what do you know? It sure is. Humans, when they have the same dinner 2 days in a row, versus dogs when they get the same food 1,053 days in a row. And I gotta say, that is the most wholesome use of that dog you could possibly find. He's just salivating over dog food. It's so much cleaner when you think of it like that. Le Pigeon for 5 says, I'm late, but bass Eurobeat intro, initial D is peak. It sure is. The best thing from Japan. Meow Meow and gifted 10 subs. Thank you very much. Sneedo for 10 says, Tim Maltz and his TikTok daughter are very retarded. And then there is a Kiwi Farms link. Oh, God. This was her video. Oh, I think I played this on stream. This is her video after Trump got shot at.
Gun control doesn't just save Democrats' lives, it also saves Republican lives. You'd think we'd be at a point now where we could call for some common sense legislation, but I don't know. Also here to say that political violence is never okay. Duh.
She talks in a way that makes me misogynistic, chat. Sneedo, for once, says, imagine Josh hoped that England fans were assaulted in Mexico. If you think I've paid even a second of attention for anything football related, you're nuts. Chloe Dante for 20 says, rip Connor Murphy, legal dick suckers potions were too strong for him. That's a weird like mashup. Was there ever a stream where Connor Murphy was like, oh, because he's in fucking Asia. I see. I understand. I got you. Thank you. Russ Cole for 10 says, if you enjoyed the positive Poly July 4th stream, check out Josh's optimistic take on the economy. Then I have to do a CAPTCHA to watch your fucking video. Saying select all mountains, and there was one photo I had to select that had no fucking mountains on it. Okay.
Just how far will the economy fall? We asked economic reporter Dan Banks for his assessment. We'll have the rest of Dan's interview tonight at 10.
Things were much better. Ew, there's like a fucking infected toenail thumb. Dude, I hate YouTube. YouTube is such shit. It's such a better time. Spingle Cat for 10 says Linux Krieg, and then there is a Twitter link. This is my ideology.
I'm sorry, sir, but this is a no nigger zone. You can't be here, you filthy melon muncher. I'm sorry, sir.
Melon muncher. Okay. Thank you from the Spanish demographic. Spingle Cat, for one, says, a DSP Nick got on Twitter thinks you're going to shoot up somewhere because you have guns. This man is a ticking time bomb. He is totally isolated from reality, spending his days sitting alone in a room thinking about all the people he hates and how the entire world is conspiring against him. He also at one point wanted to buy a bunch of guns. I have a bunch of guns. Happy to hear from the DSP community that I shouldn't be allowed to own guns because I'm too based. Logistical Nightmare for 5 says, big thinkum dinkum, come and read The Moon is a Harsh Mistress at the unofficial sci-fi fantasy thread and tell us if you join the Loony Revolt. Okay. There's an advertisement for the thread if you like books, chat. Debugs for 10 says she, Meng, and then there's a streamable thing, which I'm sure is hilarious. Let's check it out.
Yo, Uber for Jameson?
Oh, this is Uber? Wait a minute, hold up. This don't look like no Uber. This an Uber? Hold up, man. Is that my Uber profile picture with feet? Hey, is that Godzilla? That's crazy, man. Wait a minute, that's me. Every time I look away, there's some more pictures of me looking at me. I ain't got this many pictures of me. I don't really mind the feet one, but with the one with Godzilla holding me, that shit's fucking me up. I'm just gonna sit here and pretend this is normal. How the fuck do you sit here and pretend this is normal?
Yo, Uber for
Black people humor. Does not ring with me. Sup, 66 for 5 says, the YouTube chat bug is completely new. It sounds like an edge case. I know how extensive their tests are because of how mature their chat service is and how high the QPS is. Whatever it is, it sucks ass. YouTube's chat's the fucking worst. And, like, it lags constantly. And you can't even, like, API tap it at all in real time unless you, like, pay them. It's just absolute shit. Thank you. Jack me off. Subscribe for a month. Thank you. St. Bergstein Goldman for 5 says, Josh doesn't know about the Roman 22 LR Lucius round. Oh. Yeah, no, I don't know about any Roman rounds, sorry. Sneedo for 2 says, every time I see a pooner, all I can think of is this Zeet. And it's Maddie saying, getting mogged by transmen, you ugly bald MF. And then Pinga says, let me hear the SpongeBob voice. It's true, they do have the SpongeBob voice. Ballman Sack for 10 says, sounds like a future of Mong Modular. Oh, Moog Modular. Like my campground in Wyoming? Maybe. Ballsack Man also sent a YouTube link, which I assume was meant to go with his other post, because otherwise it doesn't really make any sense.
Chasing the wall, 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 chasing the wall.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's pretty tight.
Let's hear it again.
I wrote a song for you, Kenny. Chasing the
Fantastic. Thank you. Bossman Jack shit. Wait, Bossman Jack in it for 15 says, Josh, is there any moon powder family recipes you can sell to support the farms? I already went into detail about the meatloaf. Thank you. Fatty Catty for one says, it's very easy to drown. FYI, my God. Oh my God, bro. You're like, actually fucking personified. After he mangled himself on the asphalt, he went to the water to feel better and died because he's high as fuck. Yeah, I guess so, buddy. Appears to be the case. Sneed Soto 2 for 10 says, been watching since 2021. Thanks for all the years of quality content. You're very welcome. Thank you. Logistical Nightmare for 5 says, can't breathe my eucalyptus air. Very true. He could not after he was arrested. Sneeden for 5 says, Josh, this photo scares me. And then there is a link to what appears to be Ronnie Ralph. It is pretty creepy and weird. I got to admit it. Thank you. Humble Guardsman for 5 says, the shardy thread scares me. It also scares me. Don't worry about it. That's the desired outcome. Logistical Nightmare for 5 says, I can't believe Jim didn't try monetizing his toes. He really just put those out there for the world to see. Even Josh has the toes hiding. He should have taken a tip from his Oshis and learned to monetize the feet. If he gets sells enough hats, he'll take the compression socks off. I bet you his toenails are really long. Hemlock Tea gifted a sub. Thank you. Hemlock Tea also sent a full sentence. Thank you. Hawaiian Zin for 10 says, quite a sight to behold that Ralph at the 40-year-old man that dresses like he's 14. It's true. He dresses like a 14-year-old black boy from the 80s. Just a side effect of growing up in West Memphis, Arkansas. The horse, thank you by the way, for 1 says, where's the Gumroad Ungazilla content? Josh, been dying to see PPP and your reaction to it. Why are you doing the Gumroaders Enjoy subscription? We recorded it and it got fucked up. It's now on the locals for free if you want to go look at it, but PPP's audio is completely mangled. There's nothing I can do about it. We can't re-record a first impression. In general, all 3 of the shows we watched were like unremarkable. The cat show was like okay, and I liked Ungazillish and he did not. Logistical Nightmare for 5 says, Josh, let's be real. You'd be wearing disposable gloves in an Airbnb you never plan to return to if you had to touch your toes on video. Listen, it's just a smart way to live. Schneidberg Stein Goldman for 5 says, Clog couldn't film himself touching his toes inside because his house is a mold ridden. That's true. That's a very good point. He knew that if he filmed himself touching his toes inside, it would look worse than Rambot's house, and he just couldn't. His wife wouldn't allow that, so he had to go outside. Thank you. Sneeden for 10 says, Twitter link. And it's Alex Jones making fun of Sneeko for 2 minutes.
The manifesto, they're Mexican white nationalist cat boys. Okay.
Durka, Durka, Muhammad Jihad.
Well, stuff like that is.
What do you want me to tell you? I'm your friend, like the Quran says, and then stab you in the back?
The Quran doesn't say that.
How about I become a Shiite with you, and we take swords and cut our heads, and for 8 hours I just march you like.
That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. Or I could be a megachurch Christian with Kenneth Copeland drinking my blood. I could be with Erica Kirk shooting fireworks off my ass and twerking. You want me to do that? Small minority to demonize 2 billion people.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weasel from America.
Dude, how is this guy famous? Look at how fucking nasty his complexion is. His creepy ass little fucking mustache. What's that mustache remind you of? It's that Spanish guy that was in the Addams Family. He's got like this fucking creepy mustache and shit. He just looks like a fucking, just like a melting trash bag of jeans. It's just nasty looking, man. Thank you. Ballsack Man for 5 says, the sound of the future, Moog Modular. Did you not already send this? Is the joke that you want me to hear it again?
Chasing the wall, 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 chasing the wall.
Sounds good. Yeah, that's pretty tight. Here again.
Okay, you got what you wanted, buddy. Elk's Antler for 5 says, due to an inquisitorial efforts to the Ralph Mill, we now know that you have a secret cat. What do you have to say, Mr. Min? I would never, ever confirm or deny the existence of any cat. Thank you. Haramburger for 2 says, Poopsquatch segment was the all-star good footage, perfidious eucalyptus. Thank you. Octavia sales rep for 20 says, shout out to Grandma Potter. Peasants are sleepy on the delicacy of meatloaf sandwiches. It was not a sandwich. You just got a fork and you ate that shit. Thank you very much. Chloe Dante for 10 says, Tim Waltz spent his honeymoon sleeping in a hotel room with high schoolers in China. This is not a joke. Look it up. I trust you, bro. That just sounds right to me. That's all I need. That's all I need. It's just it sounds right about people I don't like. Dale Gribble, 69 for 10, sends a YouTube link.
Wanna be in it? Let's book a CT. It's a donut, and you lie in the middle. It's likely benign. So spin, spin, spin. Then the flowers arrived at the doorstep. A wreath, a card, and funeral gray. Deepest condolences signed by Jim. Jim, baby, he's alive today. He once said Jim faked the cancer. Now Jim's returning fire with lace. Petty, iconic, both absolutely. Someone's cackling into space.
I actually have one of this guy's Suno songs lined up as the outro. So don't worry, I will play an entire one. 16 MB for 5 says, I know you like the self-sufficiency board, so I was wondering if it has convinced you to get into homebrewing at all. No. Sorry. I like I don't know if you're referring to computers or like brewing beer, but no, either way. Thank you. And Hawaiian Zine for 5 says, Josh, please host Mikey No More on Kick when you're done. Recently, he lost his whole YouTube channel thanks to Jer. Okay, I can do that. Let me set that up real quick. I might have to follow him in order to do that. Okay. Raid channel Mikey? No? Okay, I can do that. I'll do that at the end if you want to get on the Kick one too. But I will play, in the meantime, a very funny AI song for Ethan Ralph as an outro, because why not? This guy, by the way, in case as the background, why am I playing an AI song? You don't usually do that. Oh, wait, there's one more. Baldo Pagans for 10 says, did you mind rate PPP by making him watch the Amazing Digital Clown Pussy? It's for you to watch something he likes, pro wrestling, specifically Jim, Sturda, Sterling, and Kid Bandit. Bro. Maybe, I don't know. I'm very undetermined about that. Thank you. Okay, so for the AI song, Ralph gets all of his money for drinking, as I mentioned, by having super chats. He lets people play music directly into his streams. So before it was always just jungle beats like Mount Percocet, Mari Percocet, chase a check, never chase a bitch. It's just shit like that forever. But now this guy, he's making AI songs and putting them on YouTube and paying to play those. And it's always shit like about Ralph. And it has made him cry. So this song is about his ex-girlfriends. And it's very funny. So I'll play this one as the outro. Because it literally made Ralph cry on stream. And I'll see you guys next Friday. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Back when the camera learned my name, I had a wife, we rolled the fame. We built the retort line by line, the sharpest show, the perfect time.
No kids between us, just the glow. The brightest years I'll ever know. I called her fetching, fair and true, my golden girl.